I can give a pretty good one if nobody else is interested.
Okay, is it just Tom? No roll off?
No, it's all you, dude.
Okay. So, the party makes their way to the temples in Deepwater, walking through what is clearly a wealthy area through the city center. There are guards at the entrance to the temples, but there's an air of safety in the area. Like the guards are there, but they're not often needed. So they first go to Palor's temple, where Jar starts questioning an aide about dealing with cursed items. And then they're led up to the fourth floor to the chambers of Father Preston. He provides advice about assessing and disarming the curses. Well, not the curses, just curses in general. It's kind of a hypothetical conversation.
100%.
Apparently, there are specialized monks in the Guanji Mountains who are pure enough spirit to cleanse objects with dangerous curses. Father also explains how deities of order may be willing to fix curses afflicted by rival deities of chaos. Also, there's an enchantress called Zima in the city who might be able to provide magical containment box for cursed items. And so the party goes to find Zima with haste. Zima's shop is closed, but Jara knocks on the door anyway. A half-elf woman, Zima, answers. Jara spills the beans about the cursed artifact in Iris's pocket dimension. Give me a sec. Okay, sorry. Okay, yes. So, Jara tells her about Iris's thing. The cursed item. She, Zima, ushers everyone inside with a deeply concerned demeanor. Asking for a history of the party's involvement with the item. She's kind of looking for, or she's trying to plan out her course of action. So, in order to remove the item from Iris's bag of holding will have to be destroyed, and there's also a chance that Iris dies in the process. Zima recruits Jara to help with the procedure because he's magically inclined. So during this procedure, Iris experiences memories, air quotes, memories, being tempted with knowledge by evil entities. As the final exorcism is underway, Iris resists the temptation to kind of experience more of those memories and does survive. But another one of her arms is turned to the purple flesh. Talking to Zima afterward, the party tell her about their mission, and she offers that she may be repaid by fetching an object that belongs to her in the Revel Spire. She says that the scroll... Sorry, Zelda is trying to knock over microphone. She's... Okay, chill. Go that way, Zelda.
Man versus cat.
Tale as old as
Okay.
time.
Right, so the Revel Spire, Zima has a scroll there that maybe we can fetch to repay her for this this deed. Okay. And Zima continues by saying that the scroll that she just excised is the most evil thing she has ever seen, and recommends we take it to Professor Einhar for proper processing. So for now, the plan is to find a temple of Ayun on the way to the Guanji Mountains to see if it can offer any help. Back at the lodging, Felix sows some discord with Magic Mouth. That's all I wrote, Magic Mouth. I forget exactly what he did. And Thera contemplates their plans for the scroll. The next stop is Hillshire.
Okay. Very good. What is your choice, Tom?
I'm gonna go with the loot table.
Okay,
Heyo.
another loot table taker. Well, hopefully today you use it. I will say there is a chance. It is not inconceivable when you roll on a loot table, or you could roll on a loot table today. So, not that maybe you're going to pick out any interactions that may lead to it, but you also may. Who knows? Okay, great. Yeah, I guess the only thing that was kind of in question there or not elucidated completely. Tony, do you want to talk about what mayhem you sowed last session as well?
Sure. So Tom, no fault for not really getting it, because this is much to do with just like kind of Felix's like side quest. This is
Okay.
part of Felix's conspiracy board. But yeah, so basically Felix has an enemy, the broker. He suspects that the broker's identity is someone by the name of Tiberius Carnellus, and he left a message for this poor woman who, I guess she's not poor, she's theoretically an elite, but he used context clues to figure out that she is an important person, and he basically threatened her lover and her reputation under the name of the broker to try to frame him for this act to cause I don't know, any kind of harm to him that he can cause.
Beautiful. Okay, so you guys are in the town of Tillshire, which is this circle here. Just wanted to.
Are we there now, or were we on the way out?
I believe we just arrived. No.
Yes, you
Did
had
we?
just arrived. We kind of
Oh,
fast
yeah.
forwarded that bit of travel.
Okay, we did do the fast forwarding.
Yeah, we did the, so what I will say is now that you fast forwarded, the previous day, that Friday, the day you set out, was the 29th of February in my world. So by the time you get to Tillshire, it will be well into the 1st of March. So it is Saturday, March 1st. And someone, or let's see, I guess.
Wait, you said it's Saturday now?
Yeah, you guys would have blown through the travel. I
Hell yeah,
will
guys.
I will
Saturday.
provide some space to roleplay on the way. I think there are things you want to discuss. If not, we can just blow right through. But definitely by the time you get to Tillshire, it is Saturday, probably mid-evening. Before we get to that, you all follow, for those that follow, I guess, deities of order. So you all would know, as I pull up the calendar, there is a holiday at the end of this week. This week being the Sunday. My weeks start and end on Sunday. That is the 2nd. And it is a holiday commemorating, coincidentally, Ayun. Not super celebrated because Ayun is not one of the sanctioned deities. But on this day, offerings are made in Ayun's name, and oftentimes it's a day of honesty. So coming forward to loved ones or people or who, like friends, family, being honest. It's kind of like a day of repentance for lying, things like that. Essentially, it's like a clean slate in the eyes of Ayun. And Ayun is like truth-telling, knowledge-seeking, fact-finding, basically, is what Ayun touts. So this holiday is not necessarily a holiday of celebration. It's more of atonement and forgiveness and honesty and things like that. So it's very common to make either what people usually do is they write down their, secrets or whatever, or lies or things they're sorry for, and then they usually burn them at the end of the day. If you want to partake, feel free. There may be a reward. Ayun may favorably look down on you, or may not. You don't have to share with me or anyone what you would write down. It could be completely in character. Whatever you want to do, but if you want to partake, totally is worth, go for it. And I'll let you know when that time comes. It'll be not when you get to Tillshire, but most
It'll
likely
be
while
the
you're
next
there.
day, right?
Yeah,
Tomorrow?
most likely while you're there.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll leave the space open for any role play. I'll just kind of let you guys go through, and if there's nothing, we'll open at the front gates of Tillshire.
Remind me, where is the scroll? I know it's in the box, but where is it? Is the box?
In the box in Iris's workshop chest.
Gotcha. Iris, I prepared the spell Arcane Lock today, so I could either lock up your box, but I think I'd rather just lock up the box that actually contains the scroll, like the magic box,
Right.
just to add an extra layer of protection.
Okay, I think we can handle that. All right, well, Iris will we'll take a brief pit stop because Iris needs to pull out the portable workshop, place the portable workshop, open it up, and then retrieve one of the chests from inside the portable workshop.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you guys will spend an evening out or a night out in the wild, so I imagine you can fold that into your evening's plans.
Oh yeah. Okay, just to make sure I know mentally, how far is the trip from Deepwater to the second town over?
It's
Was it
about
like a day or two.
a day and a half, day
Okay.
and 3/4.
Okay. Let me see. Do I have any exhaustion points? I don't. Okay, word. So yeah, they would have. Iris would have removed the special cage box chest that we have around the scroll for you to arcane lock it.
Yep, and I'll do that.
Okay.
Iris is also going to take. Would probably take that evening to continue tinkering around with that weird design of the. I think it was like the arcane trebuchet or like the handheld firearm. It was that large defensive mechanism that was up in Frey that she wanted to make a small handheld version of. So she probably would've spent
Yes. Yeah.
that afternoon or that evening trying to tinker around with some of that.
Sure. This is like the really small, condensed down, like spherical.
Yeah.
Okay. So, having had a tense situation just happen the day prior, your mental state isn't 100%, so you'll roll with disadvantage here. However,
Okay.
make your tinkering check.
Got it. Is there a particular skill to use, or
I
like a
believe the
particular-
way we do it with Tony is like your spell casting modifier plus your proficiency. Is that what we do, Tony?
Well, I think we
or
just
is it like
use
Tinker's tool specifically?
the tool. Yeah, the tool proficiency. That's what I always do.
Yeah,
which
there
is
you
just
go.
your. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll use a Tinker's tools check here. Disadvantage. So it's either going to be a 27 or a 21.
All right, so 21. That's still a very good roll. Because this is a kind of a smaller version of things, of what you saw, you're able to make steady progress here despite being, I'll say, fogged in the mind, clouded. Another 3 or 4 nights of steady, like solid past checks, and this thing could come to fruition.
Excellent.
And it's no easy feat. So this kind of natural, this is like obviously like a blend of magical and mechanical engineering, and it's not easy. So it comes naturally to you, which is also, it's almost like your hands know before your mind does.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, anyone else want to share anything or do anything before you reach Tilshire the day after?
Sorry. How's my Toad of the Cinder King doing?
Oh yeah, the frog.
Still alive.
Has it secreted any goo?
Okay. I actually did make a mechanic for this. I believe you would have had it. Well, roll when you get to Tilshire.
Okay.
That way it's in terms of days.
Sure.
Because the mechanic is every day there is a D10 chance up to a threshold of it secreting. So I have a table. Just let me know.
Cool.
Or I'll let you know, rather, and then you can roll. Okay. Anything else?
Since we would be traveling, are we traveling Friday or are we traveling Saturday?
You would have left on Friday.
Okay.
So you'll be in Tilshire around late evening Saturday.
Then I would have just been taking notes in one of my journals along the trip.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. So, approaching Tilshire, I will change the... All right. So, you guys... the map is supposed to be oriented like you would be coming from this way. So, looking at the map from where you were, this is north, south. There you go. Just the aspect ratio lend itself better to this kind of thing. So you'll continue through the breadth of Oshire on.
And then we said you get here in the evening.
Yes, you are here in the the later half of the evening, 7-ish, 8-ish o'clock. On the 1st of March, in my world. Okay. Getting here, we'll do our roll for your toad. One thing while messing about, Felix, one thing you notice is your amulet is glowing rather bright.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Specifically, you notice a pretty stark difference from when you left Deepwater to now arriving in Hillshire. It's grown quite a bit. But roll me a d10.
All right. On a lighter note, let's see if my frog secreted any goo.
Yeah.
Here we go. Got an 8.
Okay, so mark this down in your journal. I did this in terms of vials. So right now, an 8 is a great roll. You have 3/4 of a vial.
Ooh.
And you can only extract in terms of vials, right? So
That sounds fair.
just to keep
So
it sane.
3/4 vial of frog goo.
Nice.
And the if you want the name of the like secretion,
Yeah.
it's called Cinder Scorn.
Love that.
Gotta love scorn.
And it is bright orange.
Is that all one word?
No, it's Cinder Scorn.
Cool.
2 words. Okay. Anybody? Was there anything else you guys wanted to have happen on the outskirts of Tilshire? Okay.
I mean, I think are we just going with the same game plan for Mori?
Yeah, I was gonna ask what we're planning on doing with our skeletal friend.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. What are we doing?
This is kind of your deal, Iris. You
Yeah.
created it.
Last time we made him invisible, or it invisible. That seemed to work fairly nicely.
We don't even know where we're going yet.
Works for about an hour. Where are we staying?
Somewhere in town, I would imagine.
Yeah, for at least a night.
It's already pretty late, so
Okay. Sure. How are we like on the outskirts right now, basically, or are we,
Wherever
like,
you
getting
guys want to
close?
be located, and we'll pick up from there. So
Okay.
wherever you want to be on
Yep.
the path.
Iris would wait until we got like relatively close to Tilshire before casting invisibility on Mori.
Sure. Okay. Mori vanishes. The street here, the main pathway is stone, not as nice as Deep Waters, but still stone. And there are occasional lampposts that are lit to light the way for you when the sun sets, as it has currently. The one thing you see upon entering the outskirts of Tilshire, it's pretty heavily wooded. The trees here are kind of your standard oak kind of variety of trees, nothing crazy. No tall trees, no tall redwoods like you saw before. Things down here, or in this part of the continent as you go more southern, things are going to start to get a little more tropical-esque. Think like going further south in the United States, eventually hitting Florida. You're not quite there yet, obviously, but that's the progression of the weather pattern. And the storms here are a little bit more violent. And with that, you see a lot more felled trees, a lot more bush and brush on the ground that's kind of been hit pretty hard with rains. But obviously, with the heavy rains come a variety of vegetation. And one such example is this lake here. This is just called Tilshire Lake, or Loch, actually. Tilshire Loch. It's pretty large. I don't really know the square footage, but you can kind of reason to size here. And it's fairly deep, and it's fishing. There's fishing on it. There's fishing boats. I guess they're docked at this point, but you can see them docked. Their sails kind of sitting. There's no tide or anything crazy. It's pretty still water, but around it are these beautiful like lily pads, and you can see like lightning bugs, these like faint glows of light. It's very beautiful, and you gather by the surrounding farmlands as well. Tilshire gets its name from the tilled soil, from being a farming, center, being flush with vegetation and variety of life. A lot of the grown crop in the surrounding area are sourced from Tilshire. And despite it being what you would consider a quaint farming situation, they're actually rather well off because of that. They control a lot of the food store, especially for the Luminous. A lot of the food grown here gets shipped directly to Tura, the capital, and fed to the large number of soldiers. You also notice a large mound. It looks man-made in some areas, as though it was added onto, but there's a rough shape that's kind of natural, and it's maybe 100-ish feet high. This mound, in which this massive cluster of buildings of various roof shapes. You can see domes and pretty sharp edges and squared roofs and like tiered buildings. This is sort of the crown jewel of Tilshire. You gather from your knowledge of what you visited so far. This is probably where the temple is located, probably where the bishop stays among the other officials of the town. Obviously, being a farming village, or actually it's more of a township, Halor is one of the profound or most followed people here. But also there's a flavor of Avandra, the Changebringer. You'll see her statue and some dedications or like dedicated artwork, things like that, for her specifically. And then the last kind of thing that you notice, mostly a human village, but there is a larger than normal collection of wood elves that live here. And they are sectioned off, and the architecture that sections them off is very distinct, as is most elven culture and architecture. This sort of quarter of the township is elven, primarily, and they do make an effort to separate themselves.
That's what I was going to ask. So it's like it's self-segregation, like they're choosing to kind of isolate?
What you know of elven culture, high elves especially, which wood elves are a derivative of in my world, they are, and Therathari would know this too, they are very much against outsiders. Have elves especially are like the most hated class in elven society, but the other purebred non-elves are looked down upon as lesser. And so you gather this is probably a self-segregation going on, nothing enforced, but just something that the leadership probably has to work around. Okay, so that's the kind of sights you see as you enter in. At this point, Amori has been made invisible, and you guys enter into the main northern entrance here. Would you like to stay in the elven quarters, or would you like to go expand towards the more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like varietal, diverse parts, there we go, of Tilshire.
Well, I think as far as where we're staying, I would assume that we would be less welcome in the elven area,
Yeah,
given our
probably
party
best-
makeup.
Probably best to stay somewhere else.
I think I would agree with that.
All right. So if you guys want to stay in more of the upper side of society, you're going to center around this part of the township. Maybe I'll color that differently. Sorry. Color that in purple. So this part of Tilshire is sort of the upper crust. There are parts of the farming situation over here, the fields, that have beautiful, large farm estates and farmhouses, but you can't really stay on that, obviously. As if you wanted to go for more of the seedier, or not necessarily seedier, but more affordable, it's really anything over here in this sort of downward portion. That'll run you like, that's kind of like your Days Inn, motels. But around here, and I guess wherever you choose, I'll describe, but that's sort of what you're looking at. So this part here, this is the nice part, expensive part, and then everything below here is sort of you're pinching a penny.
What about in between?
It's in between.
All right. I say we go for someplace decent but close to the exit, because we do got a schedule to keep. Quick exit. No, can't
Maybe-
always be a bad thing.
Maybe this area.
Yeah, that area seems fine.
Okay. Do you just want to trace out the path that you guys would take, just so I know what to describe and what not to? Whatever suits your fancy. There's no real difference other than what you'll see.
Like, go up this way ish.
Okay. You'd have to go around this.
Whatever.
But yeah.
You know what I meant.
Sure. Okay. So walking through the town, it's fairly busy in the evening. You notice that, especially, or this area here, this is a large sort of battlement set like a fortress that actually goes into this mound. It's very heavily fortified, and it's the only way, one of the only ways up through the mound. And it's guarded by Luminous. I think I described their armor here to be lighter. Despite it being lighter overall, these are very heavily armed and equipped guard. Aside from that, you can see a really, really, really beautiful market, which is the centerpiece here. It's kind of like a huge farmer's market because everything's freshly grown. You can get all your fresh dairy products. Everything's fresh in the morning, open every morning. This hour, they're mostly closed. But if you're ever in the market for any fresh vegetables, fruits, dairy products, this is your place. Even like meats too. Okay, then I mentioned Avandra. This is a temple to Avandra here. One of the only temples that are like allowed for, lesser follow deities. So maybe this is like an old kind of grandfathered in temple. And then lastly, this place right here is a theater. Probably plays, shows, entertainment generally goes on there. But a show of wealth for sure. It is lavishly designed and decorated. And across the street is a very popular pub called Prim's. That's this blue building. And then lastly, you'll stroll up on a tavern called Deer and Fork, which is where I imagine you'll be staying. And that's this building here. So you got pretty good visual on the town, or like the market. You're located to the theater. There's a little bit of bars around there for that sort of nightlife. But Deer and Fork, nonetheless, is a very humble 3-story inn and tavern, kind of conjoined together. And at this hour, they are fairly busy. Switch the music.
Jared, walking past the theater, do we notice, is there a show tonight?
There seems to be a line forming, yes. From reading some of the signs, there is a comedy show that is playing this evening. There are a few bards that are lesser known, that are like opening, if you will, for the headlining act. The opening act is Servabian Benson, and he is a sir. Whether that's appointed or not, I guess remains to be seen.
We're sirs, right? At least
if you're
Thari and I.
if you're knighted.
Well, we what happened to us at
Oh yes, you
Tura?
technically would be. You have a
You
certificate.
technically are, yeah.
You guys actually are technically under Tura knights. You've all been knighted, those that were there. And I think you have documentation to prove it, actually. You were given that.
I think so.
You are
1 second.
absolutely sirs. Go on.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
But I'm listening.
Yeah. So he's playing Sir Fabian. Or he's headlining. If you guys want to see if you can get tickets, you can. Otherwise, you go straight to the tavern. We don't really have to go through the motions here. So you want 2 rooms, 1 room for each person. What do you guys want? A suite? Maybe a suite can fit you all, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if it fits all of us, sure.
Yeah, we
All
haven't done a suite before.
All right, so you guys can get a suite. We'll say everything included, like all of you for 1 suite for 1 night, yeah?
Yeah, 1 night.
Yeah.
Okay, so, 1 night will be 21 gold for everyone, like in total, pulled together.
Why couldn't you just make it 20 gold so that way it's 5?
I'll pay the 6. I'll pay the 6.
Because it's not how it works. I don't make the rules.
Yeah. I'm not God or anything.
I don't make the rules. They come to me. All right, so you are staying at the Deer and Fork. You guys can get dinner if you want. You can try and make your way over to the show. It hasn't started yet. We'll say it's around 8:30 in the evening. The show is
Well,
the
with all this
headline.
fresh produce, I'm expecting a good meal.
Yeah.
I think going to the show would be a great change of pace. I don't know. It's not something we normally get the opportunity to do.
Yeah, I say let's do it.
Is it dinner theater? Can we get dinner and show?
No. This is just like a theater room. There's no dinner there. There is a
And
bar.
would we have time to like grab dinner and then go, or would we just get dinner after?
Well, the main show starts at 10. That's like when Sir Fabian goes on. If you want to watch the like opening acts, it starts at technically 9. So it's up
All
to
right,
you.
let's
It's
see if we
8:30
can-
right now.
We'll grab some tickets. See if we can't get tickets, we'll go eat. If we get tickets, maybe we grab something quick and then go in.
Yeah, that works.
There's also people out front selling like, rats on a stick, like the usual.
Right, that's what I mean. Like we'll grab something quick for like some street food
Chicken
and
legs.
take it in if we get tickets. But if we don't, then we'll go, get something more established.
Sounds good.
Okay. I guess I never gave you guys the name of the theater. The theater is called The Green Giant. That's really it. Just called The Green Giant. All right, so waiting in line. Is there anything you guys want to do while in line or waiting or anything, or you just want to fast forward to get the tickets? Anything specific? I guess, what are you wearing?
Oh,
Oh.
Wearing what I got on. I don't think I have anything nicer.
You would stick out a little bit, but I mean,
I guess Thar is gonna take out his the clothing he wore on his date.
Okay, that will definitely set you out, set you apart.
Felix.
I don't think-
Oh, go ahead.
I don't think Iris owns any other distinctive clothing aside from just the scale mail that she would have integrated in. That's honestly really it. I don't think I don't think I have in my inventory that she owns any other just general clothes.
Same. I mean, I probably have some traveling clothes, but that's about it.
Felix wants to stick out as a fellow sir, so he wants to make it very clear that he is noble. So he'll be wearing his breastplate, and then over the breastplate, his cloak of elvenkind, but like with the hood down, like because he wants to be seen.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, so as
And
yeah, go
Also,
on.
I'm sorry, just for the hell of it, just because he's interested, I'll use my mask of the silver tongue to make myself look like a wood elf the whole time we're there.
Okay. All right. Now, size may be like height may be tough.
Well, yeah, but wood elves are short, right?
They're shorter. Yeah. You could be
I'm
a
short
short
wood elf.
yeah, a short wood elf. That's fine. Okay, great. So as comedy clubs or nights go, the later you arrive, the closer to the front you sit. So you guys are going to be in the second row. If you
It's
want.
a comedy club. I thought it was like a play.
It's like no, it's tonight's a comedy show at this theater. Sir Fabian is putting on a comedy show. So you guys will make it midway through like the first or second opening act, but you'll be there for the main show. Each ticket is 20 gold apiece
20 gold.
for a 2-hour show.
That's fine.
And you have one free drink voucher, but you're heavily encouraged to buy more. Okay. So you guys are in the second row. I have prepared for you like 6 D&D puns because I'm not gonna write a whole comedy act. Actually, I have a list of 20, but I'm gonna have you roll to see which ones are told. So bear with me. They may be bad, but it's okay.
Plane or travel food. What's the deal with that shit?
Yeah, there you go. They're gonna be on that level. Maybe not even that good. All right, so you guys get your seats down. Does anyone want to do like a case of the joint, or are you just sitting down enjoying the show for once and not having to worry about anything? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you.
No, I was gonna say that I'm not doing anything. Felix is just trying to enjoy the night.
Okay. Everyone share that sentiment?
Just kind of
Yeah.
doing what everyone else does.
Okay. I dig it. Iris is easy going. All right. So, who would like to roll the first D20? You guys get in there. It's a packed auditorium. Everyone's dressed to the nines. Waiters are coming, or servers are coming around asking for drinks. You can get any order of any kind of ale, wine, hard liquor you want. They'll do mixed drinks, so go wild. First drink is free, any type, any size. And then the second drink is half off. So they're encouraging you to drink, for sure. What would you guys... Would you like to order anything specific, or are you all... I guess we can fast forward through that and get to the jokes. What we're all here for.
Felix will order the strongest cocktail.
Okay.
Jara orders a beer, but he's just gonna nurse it all night.
Okay. I guess the distinction I want to know is if you're going to get wine, beer, or hard liquor, because that will affect your Constitution saving throws as the night goes on.
Doing beer,
All right, so we got 1 beer for Jara.
and he's nursing it. Only one.
Okay. Sarah, are you getting anything?
He's getting wine.
Wine. Okay. All right. Felix is getting the strongest.
Current.
All right, and then what is Iris getting?
I think she'll probably grab some wine since it's free. I don't know if she can technically get drunk. Oh no, we've gotten her drunk before.
Yes, we've gotten her drunk.
We've gotten her
If
drunk
she can do
before.
drugs, she can definitely get drunk.
Yeah,
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
100%.
Okay, good to know. All right, so the opening act, the second opening act, finally gets off the stage. I'm just gonna do a performance check to see how they do. The second opening act, which is what you guys would have gotten a taste of. A 6. There's a reason they're in the opening act. You know,
Makes sense.
if they were second opening act, I don't think you wanted to see the first opening act, but maybe the worse they are, the funnier. You know, depends what you're going to the show for. All right. Nevertheless, Sir Fabian gets on. He is, unsurprisingly, a gnomish bard. Maybe that is surprising to you guys. But he is a gnomish bard. He doesn't really have any like natural ability for instruments. There's a live band that plays for him. He's just one of those sort of storytelling, entertaining, charismatic folk. He doesn't look like a knight, but maybe he really is. Who knows? But he is a very handsome bard. He's got long brown hair, a ponytail with like a fancy sort of lace that ties it together. He's got on a nice sort of green tuxedo with a green pants. Underneath is a white shirt, a bow tie that is also green, felt looking. And he has a bunch of jewelry on, ears pierced, both of them in various places. He's got a ton of rings on, a nice fancy necklace. The guy's kind of decked out. Obviously, he's putting on a show. And you can tell, I guess maybe you can't, but he's definitely not from here. He's just kind of on a circuit, you gather. This is one of the stops on the circuit. But he'll come onto stage. He'll say, good evening, good evening. Yes, thank you all for coming. Please enjoy more drinks. I'm told the first one's free. It's a pretty good deal. Just keep them coming. You know, I find alcohol is a good lubricant, keeps everybody loose and happy. But I'm going to start my show with one of my favorite jokes. Someone roll a d20.
16.
Okay. All right. He says, kind of goes a little throat clear. What time do elves like to have lunch? 12-ish. These are going to be bad. You just got to bear with me.
Iris is going to lean over to Felix and be like, is this appropriate for an elven town?
Yeah, it's I think so.
You could tell
I don't
the
know.
elves in the crowd aren't laughing, but everyone else is laughing very hard. He picked this one tactfully. Some of these are, a lot of these are elven flavored.
I'll roll another one.
All right, let's go.
3.
A 3. Okay. Why couldn't the dragonborn barbarian enter his rage? He had erectile dysfunction.
Oh, damn.
What's a dragonborn?
What's a dragon? No heckling. No heckling. One more word. We're putting you out. All right. Who wants to roll next?
I got a 6.
A 6? I think. Didn't we roll 6? No.
Tom got a 16.
Yeah, 16. All right. 6. Why are dwarves such good stoneworkers? Because they never take anything for granted. Let's see. You know? All right, we'll do 1 or 2 more. I told you these are bad, but it's okay. What? Somebody rolling?
Oh, 8.
Oh, well, this one's fitting for Dan based on his last character. What do you call an Aarakocran cleric? A bird of prey.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay, yeah, you know.
I like that one.
All right, one more, last one, best one. Who's rolling?
I got it. 14.
Okay. This one isn't that good, but that's okay. What do you call a halfling with the head of a bull? Come on, you guys can get this one.
Halfling, a minotaur.
Yeah, Minotaur.
Oh.
That was close.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
All right, let's see what his performance check is for the night. Oh, that's pretty good. 23. I mean, you know, he just keeps telling all these jokes, and you know, some of them are good, some of them aren't. But overall, you guys had a pleasant evening, especially factoring in the fact that this is after a pretty rough couple of weeks. Lots happened, good and bad, especially the night or two prior when you thought you would lose Iris. Iris growing another flesh arm. Yeah, overall, it's a good night. So for those of you that had more than one drink, let me know, and then we'll roll Constitution to see if you are drunk.
I will at least get a second drink. You said it was
Alright.
half price, so I don't know how much that is.
It's for you. It's gonna be 3 gold for their strongest. So roll me a con save, Felix.
I got a 22.
All right, you are not drunk. Maybe a little buzzed, but feeling good. Anybody else have seconds?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So just Felix is having a good time. Yeah, the show ends. You know, it's funny. There are some iffy jokes in there, like any good comedian trying out things on the road. What'd you say?
Said you gotta try out things on the road.
You gotta give them a little something. They ask for any tips that you guys want to leave donations out on the door or buy merch. You know, buy some merch.
Can I get
Yeah.
a T-shirt?
You can get a T-shirt, totally. You're gonna pay T-shirt prices like merch.
What
prices.
is the merch? What are my options like besides T-shirt?
Okay. So aside from T-shirt, you can get a sweatshirt, like a hoodie kind of thing. There are really, really, really nice jackets, like proper like winter coats. There are shoes. There's three pairs of shoes. They're very limited stock. And then you can get they have coasters, like koozies, like knickknacks.
Let me get the Sir Fabian ones.
You want the shoes? Okay, so just to be like clear what they are, these are like they're kind of like decked out sandals in like his green colorway, and they have the Sir Fabian in like gold leafing in
That's
script.
sick.
The
And
Sir Fabian slides.
And they also have it also has the date that you went and saw him.
Yeah, how much are those?
If you want those shoes, we'll just say they fit you. They are 68 gold.
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
You're paying merch prices, baby. Sir Fabian.
This is
What,
how
do
he
you,
lives.
what would you like? A potion of healing or Sir Fabian
Or Sir
slides?
Fabian slide. Oh my god! Something about that price just makes me want to buy them.
Dude, you can put these
Yeah,
up on I don't know, name a hypebeast website.
StockX.
These are like the Yeezys, dude, of the world.
Yeah, I guess Kanye's a bard, sure.
Kanye's a bard. I like that. If you want them 68 gold, then they're yours. You can wear them right now.
Is there like any resale value? Like have I heard of Sir Fabian before? Is he like
Make a
is he
history
worth
check.
anything?
Make a history
Is
check.
this collab worth anything?
History check is a 12 or sorry, a 17.
I mean, you're not really from around here, like Southern Turia. You haven't heard of him, but he seems to have drawn a crowd. The theater was packed. Totally
Sure,
up to you.
I'll buy the Fabian slides.
All
I've got
right, the
cash
Sir
to spend.
Fabians, the 68 gold Sir Fabians. With it, you get a certificate of authenticity.
Wonderful.
There you go.
If you want to resell them, you can. And he thanks you kindly. He also gives you a little bit of a pamphlet on his next tour dates. And of course, in the centerfold, there is a tasteless picture of himself smiling, half naked. Typical bard.
Oh shit.
But yeah, totally yours. The Sir Fabian slides. Congratulations.
Wonderful.
They have the hidden benefit of giving you a little bit more street cred. +1 to street cred.
Sorry, 1 second.
Sure. Okay. The last thing that happens before you guys leave is a well-dressed man steps up to the stage before you all are leaving. You notice how even though Fabian has stepped off the stage, no one has stood up or left yet. And he basically stands in front of you all and proclaims the following. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. Thank you, Sir Fabian. We had a lovely night. Before you all leave, we would like to do our prayer. And everyone gets into their, you can see, kind of not rehearsed, but well practiced. Bow their heads, close their eyes, hands together, and they say a prayer to Paylor. This is a harvest prayer, just praying for good harvest, good crop growth, good yield for the year. And then at the very end of it, like a 30-second prayer, he says, all right, get home safe, everyone. Enjoy the night. And next week, come on back if you're into some tragedies. And he'll walk off stage. All right. That is the evening. It's very late. It's midnight. You guys like to do anything before you go to bed?
How long was that production?
About 2 hours.
Okay, so the invisibility on Mori would have been gone by now.
I imagine
Mori?
you left Mori in the room.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the room and Mori's just gonna be fucking flopping all over the place.
Mori's living Mori's best life. But yeah, I imagined you just left him in the room. Anything you want to do before you leave? I'll say factored into the ticket price and all that, you guys got at least something to eat. Maybe not super filling or nutritious, but sustenance. And you also have rations when you get back, I imagine. So, all right. So just off to the bed, the chambers.
Sounds like a plan to
I
me.
think so. I think we're zooming south.
Okay.
We are Newman and zooming.
Let me get the music. All right. So back in the chambers. I didn't really describe this room. Bog standard suite. It's a little kitchen area. Obviously, there's like a bathroom, a water closet going on, and very. It's actually technically 5 rooms, not 6, but I guess Maury bunks anyway. And fairly small rooms, little common area, nothing special. Anyone want to do anything before your head hits the pillow?
Yes, I've been sitting on a healing potion kit for quite a while.
Sure.
We have like a room. I have space to work, so I'd like to try to use it.
You are a little impaired. Do you not care for the penalty?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll just do it.
So go ahead and roll.
Okay. Oh, wait, no, don't. Okay. I have a. Oh, yes. That's very good. I got a 21.
Even okay. Wow. So penalty knocks you back 3. That's still good enough to pass. So you can make another standard health potion.
Okay. Wonderful.
All right. Anyone else while Felix is tinkering? Anybody else doing anything before bedtime?
If I've got some time to keep working on that gun, I think she'll try it, or at least that ranged implement.
Sure. Go ahead and make your check. Not at disadvantage.
That's a natural 20 for a 31 total.
Okay. Yeah. So you have successfully completed today's and potentially another day's task. So mark off. You have 4 more successes left.
Very nice.
Excellent.
In fact, you made so much progress, you've surprised yourself, and you even added a little bit of an addition, which I will tell you once the item is complete.
Ooh, excellent.
But I have it kind of tiered out, and you kind of hit a bonus tier with a natural 20. So, congratulations.
Iris is schmoving.
Okay. It's kind of like one of those things where you improve on an aspect of the design that, it's not flawed, but not perfect. It's kind of like one of those things. And you can only do that when you're hitting your stride. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
It's working.
Yeah. Anybody else? 2 successes so far. I mean, it's tough acts to follow, I will say.
Nothing
All right.
here.
Cool. So you guys rest up again. Today is the 2nd of March, and that means it is this Day of Atonement. So if you'd like to participate in the morning, you can. The tradition is to kind of wake up a little earlier than usual, sit in silence for a little, kind of think about maybe things that you're sorry for or aspects of your past that you're not proud of. Take a moment to reflect on them. People often write it down, as I mentioned before. And then the idea is you save it for the rest of the day. You try and correct the things you can correct. And then at the end of the day, final act is to just burn it and release these kind of ill thoughts and past grievances that you may have. And wipe your slate clean, spiritually and otherwise. So if you choose to partake, I guess you can let me know once you guys wake in the morning. If not, totally fine. I will not thrust a religion upon you all. Just wanted to give you the world setting. Despite Ayun not being super followed, it's kind of like how Christmas has become a standard where even non-Christian or Catholic people celebrate and participate in the traditions.
Been commercialized.
Of course. There's no Coca-Cola bear with Santa, unfortunately, for this, but this is one of those things where the general rituals of the day have been kind of passed along to even those who don't follow the faith. You can call it a bastardization if you're cynical about it, but either way, so you don't have to follow the faith necessarily. Okay, let me change the music once more. All right, you wake on the 2nd of March. Who is rolling on this weather table? 1d8, please. Anybody?
4.
Oh, there you go.
4. Okay. All right. You awake to a rather foggy, cloudy morning. A little bit moist, damp. No rain,
Moist.
but kind of the smell of dew is strong. I guess, do any of you wish to partake in this sort of ritual? If so, you'll wake up a little earlier than some of your friends, if those aren't participating.
Yeah,
Anyone?
I would definitely like to try it out.
Okay. Anyone else?
Iris is passing.
Sure.
Jara is up early, but not for the ritual.
Okay. Sarah, are you participating or no?
No ritual here. He's gonna hang out with Maury.
Okay. Sounds good to me. So, Felix, you wake early. How are you choosing to practice today's rituals?
So would it be weird to go to, like, I was thinking of going to the Temple of Avandra for this,
Sure.
even though I know that's not Ayun. She symbolizes change and whatnot, so I figured that's probably a good place to go.
Sure. Yeah, totally. You can head your way over to Avandra's temple. You make your way there, and you are not alone. There are many people here probably doing the very same thing you are. It's dead silence. You can hear a pin drop. Even the streets themselves aren't super busy at all. It is early, but even factoring in the earliness and the weather, it's a holiday, and it's a Sunday. So, totally able to sit in one of the pews and kind of do your thing. Or do you want to go up to the statue? What do you want to do?
Is there like a priest that I could talk to?
Sure, yeah, totally. Let me get... Oh, it is a her. Her name is Alice. Yeah, you can talk to Alice. She says, good morning. Good morning. How may I help you this morning?
Good morning. Kind of new to this. I haven't celebrated. What is this holiday called again?
It's just, technically it's called, the Atonement, but you can, the Day of Atonement, but,
Right. This is my first day, taking part in the Day of Atonement. I certainly have a lot to atone for, and I'm just thinking about how to, I guess, do better next year, or this isn't really like a New Year thing, but in the next 365 days.
Yeah. Well, that's a very personal question, of course. But Ayun, Avandra, they teach the same kind of things. The first step is honesty with yourself. Looking at things that you've done wrong, really thinking about why things happened the way they did. Could you have done something better? Why couldn't you, or why didn't you? These are the kinds of questions that lead you down a path of change. And that change, I hope for you, is healing. For others, it can be a cycle, if you will. But if you need help along the way, bringing that change in, of course, Avandra can help. I can help, as I am the guide here, at least in this city. But
And
yeah, go on.
what about things that I can't change? Because I fear that my mistakes have led to irreversible consequences that not only I am facing, but people I love are facing. How do I? I don't know how I'll be able to change their lives for the better and pay back for my, poor decisions.
Some things in the past are irreversible. This event or events sound like they follow that pattern. And what Avandra, and I imagine what Ayun teach, is a recognition of that irreversibility and a willingness to look at the actions that led up to them and pray and hope for the next time things like this happen, you're able to find a way around whatever happens next. As far as changing something that is unchangeable, obviously that's an impossible task, and you would be crazy to pursue it. But I would say there are things you can do to change other people's lives, a butterfly effect, if you will, that may, in summation, add up or even exceed the past transgressions or wrongs that you may have done.
Well, thank you. Your words definitely have helped me.
Sure. Take this day, make it your own, and it's really just about you, about your inner consciousness, and about reflection, retrospection. So however you choose to do it, I hope it's a healthy thing for you. But I'll be here to guide you further if you need. Your questions lead me to believe you're on the right path.
Thank you. I hope so. I'll let you know if I have any more. But
Sure.
Have a nice day.
You as well. Okay. So are you choosing to reflect and write things down? Or are you
Yeah,
gonna-
definitely. No, I don't have anything specific.
Sure. You don't have
but
to share
just-
if you don't want, but
Yeah,
good.
I'll write some stuff down. I'll do a little prayer. But just general stuff.
All right, make a religion check.
Nat 1.
Okay. New god for you.
Yep.
So maybe hard to make a connection the first time. But you gather, if you pursue this path for long enough, especially during the Day of Atonement, such a holy day for some, perhaps there may be fortune in your favor. Pun kind of intended there. Wherein you can favorably change an outcome of a dice roll down the line, potentially. But this is not your moment, unfortunately. Still feeling good. You head out of Vandra's temple. Anything else you want to do while you're out before everyone gets up?
Nope.
All right. You make it back to your friends who are yawning awake. I guess Jara is up. Are you doing anything specific, Jara, while you're up before everyone? You're muted, by the way.
Sorry. Chelsea came with cookies. I forgot I muted myself.
Mhm.
Yeah, while everyone else is up. So I know that this is a holy day, but I don't participate in any, church worship. So I kind of just go through a stroll through town. It's kind of I like walking around on this type of day because I know the streets are mostly empty, so it's kind of peaceful.
Yes, and it is.
And I'm just kind of, thinking about the past and the present, and what I got to do in the future. Kind of considering, reflecting, as is the spirit of the holiday, but not actively going to the god and being give me help or anything like that.
Sure. Okay. And this peaceful walk finds your thoughts, or your head full of thoughts, and possibilities and reflections and all things alike. Okay. Eventually you make it back along with Felix, and the rest of you awake to a foggy morning. Humid, but foggy. We'll say around 8:30 in the morning. It's been a late night for you.
I come back with a fresh loaf of bread.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to stop at the market on your way in, there are definitely some people who are setting up shop, even on a Sunday.
And some fruit, actually. I want both. Some
Sure.
Is
fresh
it
bread.
all food stands?
Yeah, food. Well, there's food stands in the central market. It's kind of like the farmers market. Around it are like bakeries or more processed stuff. This is kind of literally from farm to table. They cart it in the morning of or the night prior.
Essentially, yeah, I want to like pick up a morning breakfast for everyone so we can, hit the road. So
Sure.
I pick up some bread, I pick up some fresh fruit, something
There's
light to
jams.
start the day.
Yeah. And all that will cost you just like 1 gold for everything.
Cool.
People are very nice. They wish you a happy day of atonement, if there ever is such a thing. And you all reconvene in the common area of your suite. For those of you that make decisions in the morning, now will be the time to do so on the outlook of your character, the build. Day ahead is travel. I will zoom temporarily out to where your next checkpoint will be.
Yeah, so I guess as everyone's waking up or coming back, there's the spreads on the tables. Some bread, some jam, some fruit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yara, thank you.
Yeah, morning. I was just out about and figured I'd grab everyone some breakfast so we can hit the road.
That's perfect. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go whenever everyone else is.
I am as well.
Yeah, feeling good.
All right. So your next checkpoint, there are smaller places on the way, but this is sort of your next major checkpoint.
Isn't there a church, a temple of Ayun along the way that we're gonna look
It's at the
It's
Grove.
It's further south
Okay, further
on the
south.
Twin Steps. Yeah. Yeah. Your next checkpoint is this little town here. I literally put it on here just so it's there. It's very small. But nevertheless, that's your next.
It's like a little crossing town. You stop in to get supply and you go. I
Totally.
think.
Yes. Exactly. But that is a future view. Back to the present. You guys wake to your morning spread. Anything you'd like to do?
All right, so I think the plan is we just keep going south, and then once we get close to the Grove area, we look for the Temple of Ayun, right?
I think so.
That's about right.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. You eat your morning breakfast. So literally just want to bust on out of here. Let me pull up. Okay.
Next time we ought to stay when the show is a bit more interactive. So they had some dramas.
That would be nice. Yeah, the comedian had some great merch, but his jokes were hit or miss for me.
Did you end up buying those shoes? I know you were kicking around with it for a while.
Yeah, I did. Jared, are they like do they have like are there slides or do they have like a
No,
a
they're
heel?
yeah, they're like they have heels. They're
Or like
wrap
what am I
sandals.
trying to say? Like
yeah,
a
they have
back
the
strap.
yeah, they have the back strap. Mhm.
So that they're like I could like walk in them.
Totally, they're very comfortable actually.
All right, I'm definitely wearing them then.
So, are you like into shoes? Is this a hobby of yours? Do you collect them?
I think I could be. These are my first, but
Oh, you caught the shoe bug?
yeah, maybe.
Well, don't dirty them up too much, then they won't be worth nothing.
No, true. That's yeah. Well, I think I can like probably use magic to clean them up and stuff.
I guess that's fair. Prestidigitation goes a long way.
Yeah, and I've got like I could probably brew up like some cleaning liquid, like a cleaning serum.
Okay. Any final things before you guys leave?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
All right. So, on the road again.
Uh,
Let me open up the map for that. Sorry. Wish there was a better way of like going through this. But alas, there's not. And I'll move this. All right, so just to recap, you guys are heading down. This is called Leafside. It's spelled like this. How do I move that? How do I...
I see it. Leefside.
Yeah, but I want to move it. It won't let me move it. Wait, I think I know how. Yeah. Whoop.
Well, you deleted it.
I guess I did. There we go. Oh, interesting. It treats it as a 3D object. There you go. There's Leafside.
Sounds good.
Okay. On the way there will be about a 2-day travel, give or take. You guys are currently on pace. You're a little bit early, actually, to get to Black Rock Quarry in the
Good.
very, very south. You probably have another day and a half of buffer time, should you want to use it. You might actually end up using it inadvertently, just based on like staying half a day or wherever, not
Yeah,
traveling.
I think we're trying to like give ourselves room for like an emergency or something.
Yeah, totally makes sense. I'm with it. Okay.
How much more of that frog secretion are we getting over the next 2 days?
Well, we'll have to roll for it.
That's true.
Wait, so how long is the trip to Leafside?
Leafside is about 2 days, 2.5 days.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, and let me pull it up for you guys. Very, very small. I guess while I'm doing this, we can just take like a 5-minute break and then come back, have the map situated. There are some things I want to do before you guys get there, potentially some rolls, so we'll do that. And then
Sounds good.
Sounds like a
hopefully
plan.
We'll pick up in Leafside. All right, back in 5. All right, so you guys are on the Twin Steps path here, this Twin Steps Road. What you'll notice upon leaving Tilshire, you can see in plain view now, not only the cliffs where Navarre is, but further south, the actual Guanche Mountains. You can see their peaks rising high into the sky. Their snow-capped peaks. That's really all you can make out from this distance, but they are massive mountains. Quite a difficult trek to travel through or over, which is why there is no wall built by Shikumo that kind of goes through these mountains. They used it as the natural fortification. You can plainly see why at this point. You can also see as you're traveling out, there are like flocks of thousands and thousands of birds that travel over to Navarre in the pits. These are pits where there's sort of detritus, like garbage, and I think we discussed remains of various humanoids and animals and whatnot, just kind of dumped in the pits. And the birds there flock by the thousands to feast and whatever. These are pillaging birds, crows and vultures and all kinds of things. Not your friendly robins or, anything like that. Seagulls or something. But that's another thing you notice. I think I mentioned, in order to keep things visible, I removed a lot of the surrounding trees and brush and whatnot from the map. But all around you are, like I mentioned, these oak trees, temperate climate trees, nothing like evergreen or any, ferns or anything like that. But you guys push on the beaten path. So I broke this part up. It's obviously I rounded it to like roughly a 3-day travel, 2 nights, 3 days, basically. I broke it up into some roles. So before we get to the first checkpoint, do you guys want to do anything while on the road? I know you guys like to do some downtime tasks or talk amongst yourselves. What is the plan?
I guess at camp, during camp, since especially because we're getting close to our destination here, I finished book 1 of the Shikmo books, but I have a second one. So I would
Yes.
like to earnestly start reading that one in preparation for the ending of our trip.
All right, make an intelligence check.
All right, let's go intelligence. Let's do something good. Nat 1, of course, right when I need it.
Tough roll. The end of the last book, you saw the digression of the author as they were descending into madness, and book 2 picks up in the sort of peak of that madness. The beginning chapters are nonsensical. You see names scribbled, like sections of pages blank, weird drawings, very strange things. The only thing you gain with a Nat 1 is this person is they've gone into isolation at this point, and they're having visions. The most common vision you see, the pattern tends to follow a nightmare involving basically like a black void or like some void-like situation in which this person finds themselves in, with the inability to move or to speak or to act, only the ability to think, and a white glowing savior figure entering this void and ripping them out into the real world, which is when they wake. And they are hell-bent on basically extrapolating this into the real world somehow. Like, these aren't dreams, they're visions, whatever. So this person now thinks they're like in this crazy seance with something, visions of, reality rather than fiction or dreams, products of the mind. So that's where they're at right now. Kind of a grim turn, a little bit worrying. The pattern to getting here wasn't super clear, other than time in Shikumo, in a foreign land, and very strong feelings of being an outsider. That's what you gain so far. So you're in the midst of the madness. Okay, anyone else doing anything in this downtime?
Keep working on that ranged weapon while we've got time during camps.
Okay, I meant this is sort of in between camps. So you're
in
traveling.
between camps. Oh
Yeah,
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 no.
yeah.
Traveling wise, I think Iris is just kind of taking it all in.
Okay. Great. All right. Anyone else?
Nope. I think I'm good. I just like to monitor my amulet.
Yes. Indeed. Okay. Will someone make me the first roll of consequence of the evening, I think? Make me a perception check.
Is someone or
Whoever wants to do it.
okay, shouldn't be me.
My perception's not great either.
You have 21.
Okay, 21's great. All right, as you guys are kind of intersecting now properly onto Twin Steps Road, so you're about here. One thing you notice, there are a lot of people traveling up towards Gat Shadow and onto, obviously, past Deepwater on Bridge, etc. The traffic is very much heavily south to north. At this point, you've kind of hit an inflection point where the bulk of people are moving north or traveling north. A lot of them are merchants. Actually, the bulk of them are merchants of some kind, or people shipping their goods off to be sold at auction, etc. There is a prevailing sort of the Amazon of this world in terms of shipping items, at least the South.
Right.
A privately owned business.
Is it by Beth Bezos?
No. But it's the Sandlaws, Sanlaw. They are maybe a family-owned business. You're not sure, but their name is on carts, on boxes, on caravans, on all sorts of things. They seem to be the ones doing the bulk of the shipping. So that's one thing you guys pick up on, or at least Therathari. Another thing you guys pick up on, as you travel further south, the people here, I think I mentioned, become a little bit more tanned in like skin color. But another thing you notice is they seem to have more accentuated or like exaggerated features. So, typically like for an elf, for example, of course they'll have the pointy ears, like the bluish or like pale colored eyes and like long hair, whatever. But the elves down here seem to be either really tall or stunted in growth and have crazy ears, like long or super stubby and short. Just extremes of like the spectrum of features for a race, without getting too in the weeds. Just in general, apply that sort of pattern of the opposite extremes of the spectrum rather than somewhere in the middle. So something about this area either attracts this kind of, these features out naturally, or they've adapted over time or something. It's not immediately clear. So that's another thing that's very interesting. And then the last thing is not a lot of people travel with horses. Here, they either use pack mules or they're using, strangely enough, a mix between like hippos. Sometimes they use hippos or rhinos, which is weird. Obviously ox are in there, oxen, but other beasts of burden you're not usually used to are around here. And there are people with lots of flying mounts. You can see like huge eagles, like large owls even sometimes. Very interesting array of pets or companions. So that's the only, the other thing. I guess what I'm trying to describe is this part of the continent, you're getting more southern, is a little more exotic, a little more different, a little less tied to the uppity culture that Tura or the capital city and surrounding northern cities kind of aspire to have. So that's the only other things of note, I'll say. Anything you want to do with that information or discuss, or are we moving on?
So does this kind of imply, I guess, that Mori is maybe less sticking out?
I was thinking undead owlbear is, or not undead, but undead appearing owlbear is still pretty jarring. But let's say if anywhere you've been so far, Mori fits in the most here, despite not fitting in really. But the heads that will turn here are less in number than that of the uppity culture you're coming from. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, so is my amulet more or less dim?
Yes. So
Sorry.
over the course of the night, the evening, and traveling into
I would say anytime we make camp, knowing that his amulet is glowing, I'm gonna ritual cast alarm.
All right, we'll go through the camps. I'm not going to blast through those. But on this first day of travel, it is definitely brighter than the day prior. You're about 3/4 of the way bright in terms of the brightness scale. So something is fast on your heels.
Yeah.
Moving faster than maybe you are because it can go through the night, potentially. But something or some things they got your scent. So I imagine you share that with the group.
Yeah. Whatever is chasing me is quick.
Okay.
What moving faster than us?
It would seem so, even though I think we're moving at a pretty quick pace. Might be inevitable that it catches up with us soon.
Okay, good to know.
Well, at least we know it's coming. Maybe we can make some preparations at camp.
Yeah.
And not get ambushed like last time.
All right. I guess I forgot to mention one more thing. As you move further south as well, the luminous that you see are less frequent, but when you see them, they are in large companies in marching formation, and they seem to be marching south. So there may be a fortification or something going on towards the south, which I think you heard rumors of in Tura, rather. but they seem to be somewhat true, as the Luminous you see are kind of in formation marching, you know, what's that called? With their like caravan and accompanying like
I know what you mean.
tents and all that crap, right? So they're preparing for battle, siege, who knows? Okay. That's the last of the notable things. So you're approaching your first evening. You have a choice on where you want to stay. This is a very well-traveled road, so there are communal camps, cutouts in the tree line that you can stake out and take. It's kind of like a campground where there are multiple places for people to stay, not necessarily in one camp, but in sort of disparate but connected camps. If you'd like to do that, you can pick one of those, or you can rough it further in the woods off the beaten path. Whatever you guys want, you let me know.
I think staying with folks would be better. If we're worried about being ambushed, maybe the people here could help if there was an emergency.
I think that's
Yeah.
reasonable.
That makes sense to me.
Okay.
I'm alright with that.
Let me.
The campsite.
All right. So this is kind of like one of those campsites I was talking about, where there are various locations in order where you can stay. There's a small creek flowing through. I also left a lot of the smaller bodies of water off of the map to not crowd it. But
Oh, these are
around,
like water. Oh shit.
yeah, I found this guy makes maps with assets that have like animations, so I pull them in occasionally.
Oh, that's so baller.
Yeah. But as I was saying, yeah, so this is a small creek. It probably feeds from some sort of stagnant lake and down to somewhere else. You gather the rain flow, kind of fills it, dries it up in the dry seasons, whatever. But the point is, if you see, water in various parts of battle maps or something, maps in general that aren't on the map, it's just, I left it out. You can't put everything there, but you can gather. This is a small creek. Nothing crazy. So I'll let you guys kind of pick where you want to stay. There's multiple fire pits. You can kind of pick. I guess I didn't put one over here, but I should have. There's one over here as well.
Is it safe to say that the lit fire pit up here, there's someone already
Correct.
taking up residency over there?
Yes, there's only one group of people here. You can see their caravan parked. They seem to be. I guess they could be out. Depends on where you guys see and where you guys stay will determine what you see. And just for reference, you guys are walking off the beaten path down here. So, like, the main path extends out there, some ways. And it's really hard to do a gentle incline. These are gentle inclines, not sheer cliffs, just so everybody knows as well.
Gotcha.
So it's not like crazy. This topology here is not 1-to-1, but all right. Enough caveats about the map. You get the idea. Wherever
The
you
map
want to
looks
stay.
good. The map looks good.
Yeah, I do like the map.
Let me get you guys out.
As do I.
Mori, Jara, Iris. That should be everybody.
Where
Where are you guys going?
this one over here.
Okay.
I think that's reasonable.
I'll get your horses.
Are we missing Jara?
No,
No, Jara's over here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Jara doesn't have a base.
we are quite small.
Yeah,
Or is
I'll do that in a sec.
A large fire.
I'll get the heights in a sec. How many horses do you have? 3 or 4? Or 4 or 5?
I think 3.
We have
3 horses in Mori.
Oh, and Mori, right.
right.
Okay, cool. All right, let me do the size perspective changes here. You guys a little bigger. Right. Where's Jara? There he is. All right, it's a little better. Good enough. Does the job. So you guys can park your horses here. There are probably more trees than I put, but of course I don't want to overload you guys with assets to load in.
Hey, it's enough for ambiance. Good.
It is. It's enough. And I will change the music to be nighttime. Okay. You guys are in the wilderness, a place you haven't been really in any true form, at least this kind of wilderness, a nice, calm, not crazy wilderness, not like the spires, in some time. So it's kind of refreshing to be out camping, the smell of fire burning, the sound of normal birds and crickets, and nothing crazy like a rock flying overhead at any moment or any of the snakes or frogs that you've been dealing with. Speaking of frogs, roll me a d10, Felix.
7.
All right, so you have a vial and a half.
Sweet.
One thing you do notice is the cinder toad is shrinking in size. You're not make an animal or nature check.
Okay. 22.
22. All right. This is probably an environmental factor from where you are leaving or picked it up to where you are now is kind of maybe a little bit different environment in terms of weather and all that. And this frog or this toad, excuse me, seems to be not necessarily enjoying this new weather, and so not in a healthy state necessarily, super healthy state.
What what's the difference in weather?
So you picked up the cinder toad, if I'm not mistaken, in like a muddy clay area, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of like in the clay, the natural sort of you know minerals and nutrients in the clay. It likes to absorb through its skin, and also um high moisture areas it prefers. Um, Not necessarily in water, but high moisture soil content, and also the makeup of the soil. Like clay is probably not as fertile as maybe like dirt, and there are different sets of nutrients. So you gather all things said and done, it favors like damp, like wet clay, mud areas, as opposed to like high vegetation, leafy places.
Gotcha.
So you can maybe try and recreate that in this little vessel you have it in. And I'll fold that an animal handling check into that. So go ahead and roll for that, just to
Yeah,
prolong the life of this.
yeah. So I'll try to I guess I'll search around, especially near the creek,
Yeah, totally.
and try to get whatever I can to recreate its natural habitat. Oops, sorry.
This is just like that lizard mount all over again.
I know. Animal handling, you said?
Yes.
12.
Okay, 12 is decent enough. Um, yeah, you gather what you think are a good collection of, I don't know, bits of clay and whatnot. Take, and you put it in. Seems happy. All right. As far as who is staying up here, you guys can see. I don't. He's pointing, but not necessarily at anyone. Just the model. You guys see a family with small kids, a girl and a boy. They seem to be pretty well off taking camp, and along with them seems to be some kind of hired guard. 2 people who seem to be traveling along with them. They are not luminous. They wear a different set of armor colors. If you get closer, perhaps you can see what specifically. And then down here at this fire, there is. I'm just going to bundle him together. But this seems to be like a knight of some kind, retired or otherwise. He has a horse he's taking care of, traveling completely by himself. And he
Yeah,
seems to be.
Sick.
Yeah, he seems to be well armed and caught himself a nice deer that he's roasting on the fire. That's basically the people around you, and no one occupies this middle camp. It's kind of like when you're sandwiched between, like when 2 guys are at the urinal, you don't go in between urinal. That's kind of what's going on here.
It's the unspoken rules.
It's the unspoken rules of the campground. That's your surroundings. So you have, a good variety going on, and people seem to be keeping to themselves, as I'm sure you will. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. I'm gonna ritual cast alarm.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Felix, where are you planning on staying tonight? I'll cast alarm around there to help notify you if that creature's gonna try to sneak up on you.
Well, I mean, I'm probably gonna stay. What is this? A tent? A lean-to?
All right, I'll do it around the lean-to tent,
But
and
well,
if I
but I mean,
can, the campfire.
I think if you're setting your alarm for there, if it's at that point, like it's probably too late already. But
Uh,
there's not like one clear entrance. How
right,
does a
which is why I think I'll just do it. I mean, at least then we'll know what's happening and we can try to stop it. Is
Yeah,
I
true.
guess my
If everyone's like asleep, yeah, you're right.
Just to butt in really quick, I'm experiencing flickers of power, so if I cut out,
Uh-oh.
that's why.
Okay.
Let me just
Gotcha.
save. Real quick. Okay, we're saved. So if anything happens, I'll let you guys know. But it happened twice, so I'm hoping for the best.
Gotcha.
I missed that completely. I was in dead zone.
I'm gonna ritual cast alarm, a 20 by 20-foot radius around the tent, and if it reaches the campfire as well.
Okay.
And it's gonna be just an audible alarm, so that way everyone will hear it and it'll wake us up if.
Well, are you guys staying in a tent built like here that's stationary, or are you staying in Iris's portable tent?
Oh, that's a good question.
I was also about to ask, just
Oh,
mechanically, because
that
it's
is.
been a while, about the tent. If I set up the tent and I close the door, can other entities open it from the outside, or
No,
is it like one of...
it's one of those. It's like the tiny hut or whatever, where you
Okay.
only allow certain people in or entities.
Then
Okay.
I guess I'll sleep in Iris's tent then.
I'm going to have it out anyway. I'm planning on doing
Oh, all
camping.
right. Well, then that works, and I guess we don't
The
need.
alarm
Oh,
will. I think
I'm
the
gonna
alarm
do
will
it.
still be useful.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway then. Except now I'm gonna center it around wherever the entrance to your place will be.
Yep, Iris will pop up the lab.
Okay. Lab is popped up. I don't have an asset for it, but it's a tent. We can all imagine, similar to these. Okay. You all
It-
go in.
And it's 20 by 20-foot square centered around that entrance is the alarm.
Sure.
And this time, does it have I don't think there's any distance. Only if it's okay. So since it's now like we're in like a different plane kind of thing, I'm gonna have it do its mental ping instead of the audible alarm, so that way it'll still notify me if
Sure.
a creature that is not us enters that area.
Okay. So you have your alarm configuration set up. Anyone
Um,
else? Yeah, go on.
I would also like to look through my potion book and see if there's anything that I could maybe like I'm thinking add to the fire to I know it wouldn't really be a potion, but like maybe there's a hint at something I might be able to add to the fire to that would help like reveal invisibility if that's a thing. I don't know. Just a shot in the dark. That's
So
all I
you
have.
want the light that the fire is putting out to also be able to see invisibility?
Like is that yeah, just I want to like just skim through the book and see if that's a thing.
Like make it a fairy fire projective type of thing.
Yeah.
Definitely not in the potion book.
Okay.
This
yeah.
is definitely like an enchantment or some sort of magical augmentation that's not really bound in chemistry.
Okay. So then never
But
mind.
that's a great question. I really like that. Think in all ways. Okay. Anyone else doing anything? All right. Let's take watches here. Who's first?
I'll go first.
Jara's first.
Felix, no offense, I think you should sit. Watch out.
No watch for me.
Well, I think it's safer if you don't leave the extra planar space.
Okay, that's fair.
If we know that a being is trying to kidnap you.
I'll take the extra hours of sleep. Thank you.
Okay. So Iris is next.
Uh,
Someone's got to do
um,
a double.
so I can go later. I don't need to be shut down to help with watching, and I don't need as much rest.
All right. So you're doing the double, Iris.
Yeah, Iris will do double.
All right. And that brings their authority for the wee morning.
Comes in handy. Iris not needing to sleep much, huh?
It does.
She still somehow manages to find a way to be exhausted, but
Well,
The batteries need to
Iris-
recharge. You know.
Needs the least amount of sleep, has been the most exhausted person in the group.
She
she
doesn't need
works
to.
herself to death.
She doesn't need
Yeah.
to sleep, which means she'll totally forget to sleep when she actually has to.
That's right. That is right. Okay. So with that, we have our first watch. You all head to bed. Those of you that were partaking in today's ritual, I guess Felix is just you. You wish to burn your loose leaf on the fire.
Definitely.
Okay. Make a religion check.
23.
All right. This time's a little more favorable for you.
Yeah, better than that one.
Still not necessarily a strong connection. However, for the first time in a little while, there's a sense of relief that fills you, as though like you're finally taking the steps and actions to correct things you've done. Even though some of them are irreversible, what you're doing now and the good you've done so far, you are confident you're heading in the right direction, certainly in comparison to where you were. And while you watch this fire take this paper and all of the ill thoughts you may have or had written down, you feel you're turning a new leaf here, perhaps. And this is a blank slate that you'll take advantage of. And you head to bed. As Jara stays awake, Jara, are you doing anything while this is going on? I always factor in, remember, in a little while, maybe. If you do choose to do an active task, you're only allowed passive perception.
No, I'm gonna actively perceive.
All right, make a...
For Iris, just because Iris can go in sort of like in standby mode but still be conscious, Iris is going to like set up a chair just outside of the tent and go into standby mode there. So she'll at least be helping with your keeping an eye out on things.
Sure.
While she's resting.
Okay, so you can roll here with advantage, Jara. Perception.
Cool. It helped a little bit. I got perception and 11.
Okay. With an 11, scanning the forest around you, listening out, you finally hear the children quiet down. Presumably they're in bed. Fires are crackling. You can smell, obviously, and see the smoke rising. The path to your left, where the creek is flowing, seems to be, what's it called? Like, empty, quiet. The water flowing, while maybe adds a rim of protection for those crossing that area, does provide like a white noise almost, which may, unfortunately, basically make things a little harder to hear that are a little more subtle. Potentially in the fire. Face first. Oh, again.
Uh-oh.
Again. Too much to drink.
Now I'm
Laying
sleeping.
down. But nevertheless, you spend the night scanning, and nothing triggers your alarm nor your attention. I guess the only other thing you would notice... So this fire over here is on. This asset doesn't have. Maybe I'll put one. That was one of those that didn't have it. So I'll just add it. There you go. It's on fire. But that fire has actually gone out. Oop.
Oop.
Flip it over. So that's something to note. The smoke is no longer rising from that fire. The other one is still lit, as is yours. That's all you report on your day, on your watch.
Cool.
So you head to bed. Iris, you are up twice, so I need 2 perception rolls. We'll start with 1 first.
Okay, first perception from Iris. I'm gonna have Mori also be keeping an eye out with me.
Okay. Mori is standing with you.
Should Mori get its own perception as well? Because it's got its own stat block.
Absolutely.
So Mori gets a dirty 20,
Great roll.
and Iris gets a 17.
Okay. So both of you roll very well. You look out into the forest. Okay. Felix. Let me get this.
Aha, it's time.
Okay. Felix. Sleep takes you very easily, as you are tired from the day's travel, from mentally exhausted from all of your contemplation and introspection during the day, traveling into a foreign part of the country you've not been to, seeing all the different beings and all the different sights. Mentally draining day for you. And as such, you find your mind, even in sleep, unable to ward off ill thoughts. I need you to make a con save.
Ooh.
With disadvantage, sorry.
With disadvantage.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. Okay, it didn't matter, but it's a 13.
Okay. As you drift off to sleep and initially find your thoughts mostly empty, there is a creeping terror that takes you. It's almost as though, actually, it's exactly like you're in sleep paralysis. And this is particularly on Iris's watch, so not too far into your sleep, but a good ways in. You find yourself in sleep paralysis, basically awake but unable to move. And you don't see anything. It's pitch black in the tent, or very close to. You hear the steady breathing of your allies next to you. Jara, who is snoring face first on his pillow. But you do hear a voice. Find it. Felix. Voice fills your mind, kind of fills your ears, and the steady breathing and snoring of your allies falls away as you're brought into a sort of trance. Failing the Constitution saving roll allows this creature to effectively put you in paralysis, or this voice. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. No disadvantage. A straight roll.
7.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you find yourself, excuse me, paralyzed with fear, but also in that fear, kind of fight or flight, this voice somehow calms you, as though removing you from the intense fear and gaining a trust, implicit trust. It says to you, oops, wrong one. Felix, do what must be done. And you feel the sudden urge to stand up. I need you to make a stealth check, and I need everyone to tell me their passive perception that's in the tent.
Is
Oh,
this
In the tent. Oh dear.
is this stealth check reliant on sight?
It's probably really dark in there, so I would imagine mainly just audible.
Okay,
hearing.
so that was just to see if my cloak matters. So it sounds like it doesn't matter.
No, not necessarily. No, not here.
Okay.
All right, I did give you the cloak of Elvenkind, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I got a
Hey.
15, which is really low for me.
All right, 15. What is everyone's passive perception in the tent? So that's Therathari and Gara.
12.
17.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
All right. You take a step off of your bed after being paralyzed with fear, not necessarily seeing anything, maybe just avoid a shadow in front of you at the foot of your cot that has eased its way into your mind as though it was an ally, and you feel the sudden urge to stand. You turn to your right, stand up, and the cot creaks. You know, not the most well-sounding, or not the most sound cot in terms of construction. And as a result, Therathari, you kind of roll awake a little bit in your, out of whatever light dream you were having. You don't see anything, it's pitch black, but you have heard at least a noise to disturb your sleep. You can follow that with an investigation check or another perception check.
Right. It'll be perception of a 26.
Okay. Are you hindered at all by like low light visibility, or can you see through it?
He is dark vision.
Okay, perfect. And it was a 23?
26.
Oh, even better. Coming in clutch. Erthar, you see the outline, really the disturbance of shadows or movement of shadows as Felix is slowly walking from his cot towards the front flap of the tent. Do you do anything? That's the question here.
So this is Iris's shift in the middle of the night, right?
Felix. Oh, it's Iris's shift. Yes, correct.
Okay.
We're like halfway
Yes.
into the first shift.
So Therathari will whisper, Felix, you're supposed to rest.
You hear Felix in your head. It's very murmured and like muffled, rather muffled. Felix, rest. I need you to make another wisdom saving throw. Your final one before you explode.
Nat 1.
Oh no!
The voice gets even more muffled and eventually is completely drowned out, and you whip open the front flap of the tent and step outside. Okay, let me put everyone in the right positions, because this matters. Yara is in the tent. Perfect. Along with Therathari. Good enough. Iris, you're kind of in stasis, but Mori taps you as Felix whips open the tent flap.
Oh.
As soon as that happens, there is a ping that hits Jara. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, I wake up then.
You wake up. Therathari is up. Felix
Can
has...
I react to the ping when I wake up? Like to say something? I just want to say something.
Sure, what do you say?
Let's go the alarm.
What'd you say?
I say the alarm.
Oh, I thought
Like,
you said
just-
the arm.
I yell that.
Okay, Felix. You take a step into the fire.
I step into the fire?
Into the fire.
Oh God! Iris
I'll-
is like, "What's going?" Oh no!
I will have everyone
you-
roll initiative.
You
I'll
would hear
change
me
these.
say the alarm, Iris. Like
Yeah,
Okay.
This is all happening simultaneously, essentially.
At the same time.
Let me change music. All right.
Ooh,
Let me
decent
get
initiative
these
roll.
rolls. Give me 1 sec. All right. 25 to 20.
Oh, I haven't rolled. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay.
19 to 15.
16.
Pretty good roll for Jara.
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched about it.
All right. 14 to 10. Oof. All right. 9 to 5.
6.
9.
9 for Sarah. 6 for Felix.
Because I had the ping.
What did you get, Iris?
4.
You haven't been rolling well on these initiatives recently, Iris.
That's fine. Iris gets to bring up the rear and follow up on everything that's going on.
That is true. That is a good place for you to be. Okay. So, what happens? So Felix is on the fire. Roasting Felix. Let me get out the assets I had. One sec. All right. Our fan favorites.
The Invisible Stalker.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Let me turn the music down slightly. All right. So, out of the fire is the only way you're seeing this thing. It's a disturbance in light and shadow. What you see is Felix completely engulfed in this shadow figure as he's standing in flame. And inside this flame is the only way you can see it at the current moment. It's this like pointed, windy, like darkness that basically is hugging Felix. What you also see prior to the ones you saw before, where they were kind of, when you did see them, they were kind of reminiscent of humanoid, like esque, almost undead spirits. These ones are not. These are, if you can think of like the, what are the things from Harry Potter?
Like the Dementors?
Correct. Kind of like that. Faceless, featureless, hooded shadows, essentially. That have surrounded, one has surrounded Felix. Does that ping tell you how many, Yara?
I believe it just tells me when.
Yes. Okay. That's what I
So
figured.
if they moved in simultaneously, then I wouldn't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
But if like one's in there, then another ding goes off.
Sure. All right. So we are going to start the first combat round with Felix taking fire damage, of course. What you feel, Felix, for you as you're in this dreamlike trance where you've been essentially not seduced out, but convinced out, persuaded out of the tent, you feel a gentle, warm hug. It's calming, relaxing. Certainly not like you're standing in a fire. So quite the difference in feeling from you to everyone else. But being that you are on fire and in fire, or not on fire yet, in fire, you will take 16 points of fire damage
16? Oh my god.
as your skin is crackling, standing on the hottest part of the fire, even in the ashes, which are truly the hottest part of the fire, the bottom pit of it. And this gentle, warm hug, you just feel like you're calm, having spent the day prior atoning for your sins. Maybe you're having a moment where the atonement is resulting in something nice for you.
Wait, that should happen at the start of Felix's turn, or does he get like a surprise round kind of thing?
This is a surprise round, essentially.
Okay.
Now it is your turn, Jara.
Okay. So I'm gonna get out of the tent, fall face first in the fire. Do I mean, obviously I see him standing in the fire, and I know that's an unusual thing for Felix to be doing. Do I get the sense that this is like a spell that's doing it, or?
Make a perception check as you step out and fall face first into the fire.
Okay.
Jara's like
14.
Kramering out of the tent.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
14.
Okay, all you can see are these like shadow tendril-like things disturbing the flame around Felix, as well as him standing fully unscathed, at least seemingly, in the fire. So you definitely know something's there.
I know something's there, but my question was, do I know, is it a spell that's affecting Felix, or is it more like...
Make an Arcana check. You'll get another check for you.
Okay. I got a 10. Wait.
Mhm.
I want to...
I forgot something.
I'm going to use my magical guidance to use a sorcery point. I want to reroll.
Sure.
Oh, rolled off the table. Oh.
For future reference, I have advantage against all magical saving throws. I completely forgot.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that definitely would have saved your ass.
Oh, much better. 18.
Okay, 18. Felix is in a trance of some kind. You gather that it is probably magic and is magically brought on for sure.
Okay, then I am going to try to cast Dispel Magic.
Sure.
On Felix.
Okay, what level are you casting that at?
3rd level.
3rd level. All right. Is it like if it's 3rd level or if it's higher than 3rd level, you get the chance to
roll? Yeah,
oh, you have to roll. Okay, it's not like... Oh, no, but I thought you get the choice to cast it higher.
I could cast it at a 4th level if I wanted to. I'm choosing to cast it at 3rd level. So 3rd level or lower, it ends. 4th level or higher, I roll.
Right, but if you were to have cast it at 4th level, then it would be 5th level or higher you'd roll.
Yeah. Just go up.
I understand. Yeah, 3rd level gets rid of it. So Felix, you are now in excruciating pain standing on flame and cinders. And you are currently being wrapped by a shadow entity that you can kind of see through, kind of not.
Do I remember if this... Because we know this is an invisible stalker, right? We fought it before.
This looks, from the shadow, looks like a stronger version. Yes.
Right, but do I know is it an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead?
You know it's an elemental.
No, it's an elemental? Okay. Then I'm going to use my quicken spell to quicken spell. I'm going to touch Felix, so I'm like right by him. So I'm going to touch him in the fire, and I'm going to cast protection from good and evil on him.
Okay, you will take damage because you are going to be on fire.
I will touch the fire for him.
Is this a concentration spell or no?
It is going to be a concentration spell.
So you will have to roll to maintain this as well.
I just have to touch him once, so like, I don't know.
But contact with him will necessitate damage.
Fair.
Damage will require a roll. So let me roll the damage for you.
I gotta mark off my meta magic. Let me look at what that is.
Okay. You take 13 points of fire damage, touching him, and need to roll a con save. A 10 or higher.
What do I add to this? Is it a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
Essentially?
Yeah.
I got a 13.
Okay, you were good. Maintain concentration, which I will get a token for right now. And then I will save, so I don't lose this.
What is quicken spell?
Maybe this will help you stand.
2 sorcery points. Okay. Alright, so since that went off,
Nope.
Uh-oh.
creature of... So, since this is an elemental, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against Felix, and they can no longer be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
Okay. So disadvantage is on Felix. Yep. I'll get the disadvantage token out.
Excellent.
And it can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. So, none of that shenanigans a second time.
Disadvantage.
And then, how much movement would you say I've used to get out of my tent?
I would say 10 feet.
Okay, I'm going to move. The squares are off on this one, I feel like. So
Yeah, so one square, you could call it 5. Oh, actually, let me put the grid on. I meant to do that.
Let's say I'm here then.
Let me
Because that-
let me put the grid. Can you see the grid?
Yeah. So then I'm here.
Let me make it a little bit more opaque here. There we go. All right. So let me.
So I'm in that square that my concentration token is. So
Yeah. Let me
are
get
these
the.
5 feet still?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me get the disadvantage to hit. Okay.
I'm gonna move back here behind
Sure.
Iris.
Okay. With that is the invisible stalker's turn. Doesn't get. This isn't an automatic anymore because you are no longer under his effect. However, he will attempt to smother you. So, Felix, you get a dexterity saving throw. You are in fire, so I feel like that may warrant disadvantage. I'm willing to hear it out, though, if you want just a penalty. What do you think's fairer?
Is it magic?
This attack is not magic. This is
okay.
a sort of kind of a like grapple.
I don't think it would matter anyways. I don't think it works for dexterity saving throws.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm,
you're the TM. I'll take the disadvantage. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm erring on the disadvantage side because you're in fire.
I'm gonna use my reaction to use Restore Balance to not have him have disadvantage on this throw.
Is that a range?
It's anyone you can see within 60 feet, and it's my reaction.
Okay. Cool. So you have straight dexterity.
All right. Wonderful. And it is a 14.
All right. That is unfortunately not enough.
I'm gonna use my reaction to throw a Flash of Genius on that, so you can get a +5 to that, so it's a 19 total.
Okay. 19 will just see.
Thank you, Iris.
So what happens is you are essentially smothered by the shadow creature. It is squeezing you as though like physically binding you, but you're able to weasel your way out. And instead of taking 8d6, you will take half, and you are not restrained or anything like that.
It didn't have to make an attack roll or anything. It just does it.
Correct, because he's already in his space.
Fair. Oh, that's right. He's on him. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So instead of 32 damage, you will take 16 bludgeoning.
Woo! Okay.
These things mean business. One thing you note, Felix, as the recipient of these damage rolls, the creature's abilities seem to be heavily strengthened in the proximity to flame.
Noted.
Okay. That ends its turn. Therathari. So you are still in the tent. Take you. Yeah,
I'll come out of the tent.
So getting to this spot here will be 10 feet because it's kind of rougher terrain in there.
Sure. What's the? Sorry. Does Therathari notice any commotion from the other people in the camp?
Make a
area?
perception check.
Okay. 21.
As of right now, you don't hear a thing. Fire on the bottom left one is still out, and there's no noise, but a fire is still going. One more uphill.
Okay, Therathari's gonna move. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, that's 30 feet.
And he's gonna cast Spirit Guardians,
All right,
Nice.
which is a sphere of radius 15.
Where did that? Is that too big? 1, 2, 3. No, I think that's pretty close.
So the invisible stalker needs to make a wisdom save.
So it's centered on you?
Yeah, centered on me.
Yeah, I think that's 1, 2, 3. I think I nailed it. Or maybe it's a little big, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, good enough. All right, wisdom save.
Yep.
Okay. That is a 19.
Succeeds, so it will take 8 radiant damage.
8 total.
8 total. That's after it succeeds.
Okay, one. You also notice, Arathari, being a radiant fellow, this version of the Invisible Stalker is not susceptible or vulnerable to radiant damage. Pardon. You see the radiant beams of light are absorbed by the dark nature, even darker nature of its exoplasm, I guess.
So does it seem disadvantageous to use radiant damage, or is it?
It seems it's not advantageous. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Any more
Okay.
than any normal attack is.
As a bonus action, this is a little bit of a risk, I suppose, but we're going to use Bardic Inspiration on Felix.
Ooh.
Okay.
So he gets an Inspiration D6 for the next 10 minutes, so long as he can hear me.
Interesting. Let me get out. I think for this, we can also track it pretty easily through dice. So let me get out of
This is full on protect the president.
Yeah, for real.
There's your D6, Felix, to use whenever you
Oh,
see
thank
fit.
you. Oh, wow.
You were handed a die. If you don't want to roll it, you can right click and hit flip as well, or roll.
Oh, no, I want to roll.
Cool. I'm with it. All right, great. In that case, Therathari, would you like to do anything else with your turn?
Nope. It's
Are you
action, the bonus
concentrating?
action. This, like almost certainly. Hold on.
Yeah, I think Spirit Guardians is concentration.
Yep, concentrating.
Perfect. Let me give this to you to stand on so that you may be tracked accurately. Okay. Great. Bookkeeping is out of the way. Getting a little bit more efficient with it. I know where everything is. Okay. Therathari is done. Felix, it is finally your turn, standing on flame. At the end of, or at the beginning of your turn, you will take fire damage.
All right. Am I able to... What was I going to ask? Yeah, is the Invisible Stalker, like, ethereal? Like, can I run through it, theoretically?
To you, you get the idea it can kind of choose when it can be a barrier and when it isn't. In order to smother
Okay.
you, it has to be a barrier, so you'll have to fight through it.
All right. Well, then, I will use my new ability, Cunning Action,
Sure.
to disengage as a bonus action.
Okay.
And as my action, I will cast Fairy Fire on the
Nice.
Invisible Stalker. So it has to make a Dex save.
Oh, these guys are probably pretty dexterous.
Yeah, I imagine, but I think it's worth a shot.
It is worth a
I'm
shot.
gonna roll your fire damage too.
Wait, I started my turn, right?
Let me give you a concentration badge. You've earned it.
Well, I won't be
only
concentrating
fire
until it
hits.
fails. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll just get it out just preemptively. You know, I'm optimistic. I'm an optimistic guy.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Thank you.
Good juju. You know what I mean? You got to have that.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So let's roll your fire damage first.
Felix just dies.
All right. That is 11 fire damage.
Okay. I will cast. Is it worth it? I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of low. I'll cast Absorb Elements. Sure. I'll bite.
Is that a bonus action or something?
It's a
It's
reaction.
a reaction. So
okay.
I've used
what level?
everything.
Yeah. What level is that?
First.
First. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. You cast it.
Yep.
No problem.
So that halves it. We round up.
We round up always.
6.
We round up on damage or
Everything.
having.
I always
No, but
round
like,
up. Oh, I round up on having always.
so it deals 5 damage.
Correct.
No, that'd be round down. When
Yeah.
it'd be 6.
Okay, I didn't know what we were rounding up. Sorry, like the reduction or the.
No,
Yeah.
so any half anything is always rounded up to the nearest integer.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I understand now.
6.
And just to clarify, I cannot use my d6 to penalize the invisible stalker on
That
this
is
saving
correct.
throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so saving throw dexterity for the invisible stalker. Okay. I realized the music stopped. Dexterity. Yeah, 20. A dirty 20.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
passed.
All right, sorry. I'll leave this out. Just,
Just in case I concentrate one day.
concentrate on concentrating.
All right, and then for my movement, I'll move 1, 2. I think I can run through Theratari. 3, 4.
Oh, don't get too
Fuck.
far.
Yeah, don't go too far for this.
No, I know. I'm within earshot of Theratari. I'm just trying to get out of the fire. Get far away. I'm panicking, dude.
With good reason. You were just sleeping, and now you're on fire. All right. That ends your turn.
Yeah.
Pretty full turn for Felix.
Yeah, I used everything.
Pretty full turns for like everyone so far.
It's got to be, man. You're dealing
Coming
with.
out swinging.
Yeah, you gotta. You were had this one cocked in the chamber. Iris.
Okay. Iris, seeing Felix make his way free from the stalker's grasp, she's going to look at him and say, these things are all coming after you, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to use 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm moving through Theratari space. 30. I'm going to use my action to cast Sanctuary. Oh, bonus action. Okay, that's a bonus action. Never
It's a
mind.
great spell.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm going to move to... I want
I
to be
honestly
able
was
to move
considering
then.
preparing it myself.
I'm
really
gonna.
appreciate
I want to
it.
try and move so that way, as I'm walking past this thing, I want to be able to take swings because I thought that Sanctuary was an action. Yeah, I'm gonna.
If you attack it at this time, if it's not a ranged spell attack or ranged attack, you will take fire damage.
Oh, will I?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's technically in the fire.
It's in the fire. I just can't put it there. It was literally
it's in the fire,
smothering.
okay.
It was smothering
Okay.
Felix.
Gotcha. I was not sure what space it was on. Okay, I will have to. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah. So bonus action. I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on Felix. That is not concentration.
No, it is not.
Um,
You order.
Oh, I would have also said to put the fire out. I would have passed that information along, that it's stronger in the fire.
Okay, sure.
Not-
What exactly are you gonna say, Felix?
Let's get that fire out. It seems to be stronger near the fire.
Okay, I'll take care of that in a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm
Sorry.
going to cast Sanctuary on you. So this is for the next minute. Any creature who targets Felix with an attack or harmful spell needs to succeed in a Wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they have to choose a different target or just lose the attack or spell altogether.
That is
Okay.
incredible.
That is great.
Not only
The
do they
spell-
have disadvantage, they now have to make a check as well.
Yeah.
I realized I have this thing in here, so I can track rounds from this.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
So what
That's
is
good. So this is round 1, right?
this is for Sanctuary.
It's a minute.
It's a minute, so
10
10 rounds.
rounds.
Yes. So this is round 1.
And do you have to concentrate for that?
It is not concentration.
Wow, that's
See-
so good.
Only caveat is that if Felix makes an attack or casts a spell that affects an enemy, it peters out.
But like, would fairy fire count, or does it have to like do
It
damage?
casts a spell that affects an enemy. So
Oh, okay, so I just
yeah.
like him out. All right, I'll just drink some potions, guys.
This,
Yeah, I
this,
would say-
this is very much the you top yourself up and then come back when you're ready.
Yeah. Take the dodge action and drink. healing
Yeah.
potion.
Yeah, get the hell out of dodge right now.
Dude, if I take the dodge action, then it has to like
Uh,
it has like
what-
double disadvantage,
yeah.
and it has to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Well, disadvantage
am I
has a
allowed-
stack.
So
I know.
just to double check our spell adjustments. So I cast a first level spell as a bonus action. Is it first level spells an action chill, or does it have to be a cantrip from here out?
No, it can be any spell, a level 2 or lower if you've casted another spell.
Level 2 or lower. Excellent. Okay. And then for my action, because I'm not close enough to attack, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Felix.
Okay.
Oh my. I'm blessed.
Oh, that's definitely not a D8. Okay, you're gonna regain 12 hit points.
Wow.
Amazing.
Great turn.
Because I've used my bonus action, I cannot command Mori to do anything, so Mori's action is going to be the dodge action, I think. Let me double check. Yep. I didn't give it a bonus action to command it, so it's just taking the dodge action this turn.
Okay.
And that's me and Mori.
Great turn, everyone. All right, we are back to the top. Jara, 16.
Nice. I hear him say, "Put the fire out." So, can I use the explosion from Ice Knife to do that?
You can certainly try. There's no guarantee that it will put it out. I'll have you roll for it.
Okay, I'll go for it. All right, so I'm gonna second level.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay, intelligence check. 13.
Okay. One thing you notice, or one thought creeps into your mind, is that if you put this fire out, the only source of seeing this creature is also out.
That is fair. That is a valid point.
Totally.
Ooh. All right. Darn. That is a very. Okay. All right. I am going to. Just cast. If I just cast Ray of Frost, that shouldn't. Because that's like a targeted thing, or I guess Frostbite. No, I'd rather do Ray of Frost. I'm gonna Ray of Frost it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Oh, good roll. That is a 24.
Okay, that will hit. D8
Okay.
cold damage. And it's reduced by 2.
Is it just a D8 or is it a D10 now?
I don't know. 5th level's 2d8, 11th is 3d8. On a hit,
Okay.
it's 1d8.
So it's 2D8. So I'm just gonna change that in my thing.
It's 2d8? Yeah, when you reach 5th level. Yep.
Yeah, I'm level 7 now. All right, 2D8. 4, 12. Nice.
Okay, 12 frost damage, full damage to. You can see the frost like coating that shoots from the ray and onto the invisible stalker. Freezes temporarily, but like it almost immediately evaporates. You can hear that of ice turning to all the way to the gaseous form. But movement is reduced by 10, and you did hit, and the fire is still burning.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? You have movement and a bonus action.
I do have movement. I think I'm going to 5, 6. I'm gonna just kind of strafe this way.
Sure.
Oh, I
Yeah.
fell through the floor.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why. Yeah.
All right, I'll go there, but I'm 1 square back.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Sorry. That end your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Stalker's turn. So,
When it starts its turn, the Spirit Guardians attack it.
yes. So it needs a wisdom save. Yeah.
And if it's susceptible, it might take fire damage. I don't know. I doubt it. But
Wisdom's 13.
It fails, so it will take 13 radiant damage.
Okay. Radiant damage. Another 13. All right. It absorbs the radiant damage. Still obviously takes damage. You can see parts of its shadowy form kind of evaporate off from the physical
Mhm.
damage or the radiant damage it takes. Okay. You are within 10 feet. No, you're not. You're in 15 feet. His their authority is also in 15 feet. Maury's within 5. Let me see what it can do. All right. It is going to step out from the flames and vanish into darkness because it is a shadow after all. Okay. It will appear behind you, Jara.
Uh-oh.
One thing you realize is this invisible stalker, unlike the other one, has found or picked out a new target, not just Felix, which is different than before.
Oh no.
All right. Jara, it will make 2 attacks on you.
This isn't your ordinary darkness.
That
This
would-
This
is
is
advanced.
advanced darkness.
It is advanced darkness. So I'll make 2 attacks on you. We don't do advantage from behind attacks, so just straight 2 rolls. First roll is a
All right. If only.
19 to hit.
Yep.
Second roll is a 18 to hit.
Yep.
Take 400 d6. You're going to take 15 on the first attack,
Well, it was nice knowing you guys.
and on the second, 7.
Okay. Well, I'm still up.
Okay. You hear an ever-present voice fill your ears as it taunts you. Flesh, you are mine. Okay.
Don't like that.
I will end its turn.
Flesh. Flesh. Flesh.
Not a
One
fan.
of us. Therathari. So keep in mind, you know relatively where it is from the effects of Jara. It has on Jara. However, you cannot see it with your naked eye, so any non-AoE attack will require disadvantage. But Therathari, you are up next.
Next or up currently?
You're currently up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Does it get anything for finishing its turn in Spirit Guardians? Because it did also.
No,
I think
only
it's
when
just
it starts its
start.
turn.
Yeah.
Got it. And after Thera is Felix.
Okay, Therathar is going to cast Dissonant Whispers on the thing.
Okay.
So, DM this as you will, but it's like psychic damage that he is dealt by hearing the Dissonant Whispers.
Let me look at what's it called? Got it. I just want to make sure I'm reading this correctly. Melody, one creature of your choice within range here. Yeah, with it doesn't say you need sight. Totally fair.
Okay,
Okay, so wisdom saving throw.
that is correct.
Not very wise. 11.
That fails, and it takes a lot of damage. It takes 14 psych damage, and must use its reaction if available to move as far away as its speed allows.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sorry.
Let's go.
That's absolutely.
Listen to this. The creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground, such as a fire.
Nice. All right, so it moves as far away from you as it can. We'll use it to move. actually a lot. So he'll be gone. You don't know where he is. He's completely invisible. But he has moved away from you. You know that, Therathari.
Okay, so that was like way more successful than I thought it would be.
I was a fan.
And we're gonna use a bonus action.
Well, Jared, I need to make concentration checks.
Actually,
You do.
What were they?
no bonus action to
Just both above a
heal
10.
anyone. We're just gonna move and put everyone in the spirit guardians.
Okay. Great turn. So you were hit, I think, last time with a
Like a
13
and a
13 and a
7.
7. Yeah, something like that.
So both just above a 10.
Yes,
Be
just
able to
above.
lay on hands next turn.
First one's a 14, second one's an 11, so we're good.
Okay. Therathari has... You feel the shadow presence surrounding you, Jara, leave in short notice, abruptly, out of your radius and your sense of touch, and is gone into the night air as Therathari marches forward. Felix.
I think Felix will have a fairly simple turn. He will drink a standard healing potion.
Okay.
So how much is
So,
that?
I think standard is...
Is that 2d4?
I always forget.
Is it 2d4 plus 2?
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
Yes, 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
I only changed the greater, like the ones that do more.
Alright, so I heal
Add
for...
your con in.
I add my con? You
No,
said?
no. For the
Oh.
like higher quality ones, I
Okay.
changed it.
So I heal for 5.
Rough.
Yeah. And I will cast... Do I want to do it? Yeah, I'll cast Healing Word on Jara.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
And heal you for... 14.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Negated that damage basically.
God damn!
Great.
Negated
You
one of the
get a-
attacks.
You get a flat bonus to your healing, don't you?
I do.
That's why it's that high. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My healing
How are you getting
spells.
13 on D4s in that guy?
Yeah, I basically get double my intelligence bonus.
Hey, I will
That's
take it all
wild.
day, every day.
Felix is good at healing. Okay. You still have some movement and I think a bonus action, or that's your bonus action. So I think you're done.
My bonus action was to drink the potion for myself.
You still have some movement.
I will, knowing that I'm protected and that my friends are less protected and that my protection relies on them not getting hit, I will kind of stand out here not knowing where the stalker is as like almost like a temptation. I guess I'll move here so that it has to enter Therathari's circle.
Sure. Okay. Kind of being like that piece of meat for the bear.
Yeah.
All right, Iris, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna move over here 5, 10, 15 because we saw the stalker sort of bamf out in like a direction outward this way, right? And then
I think this way.
No, it was the way Iris was pointing.
Oh, okay.
okay. So bonus action, I'm going to command Mori to stand over here and prepare in case the stalker rolls up.
Sure.
And Iris is also going to stand here by Felix and Therathari, preparing the action for in case the invisible stalker tries to roll up on Felix or Therathari in these two spaces.
Okay.
It's a defensive preparatory turn, but that is our turn.
Great turn. Jara.
I'm gonna take like 2 steps back. I'm going to, now that it's going after me, I was contemplating doing this last turn, Jared, you asshole. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself now.
Okay.
Because now it's actually gonna matter. Well, potentially. And then think to be safe,
Is that concentration? No, right?
No, mage armor's not. I will also take a healing potion. How do I add? That's gonna be my turn.
Okay.
And
There's your
I'm
mage
gonna-
armor.
I'm
Keep
gonna
that with you.
heal for 7. Nice.
All right. It is the Invisible Stalker's turn.
You don't have to give me mage armor. It lasts for just 8 hours, so it'll be gone. Right?
Oh.
I have it on my spell sheet that
Cool.
I can mark it, and it gives it to me.
All right. The Invisible Stalker has gone. It is now Arathari's turn.
So the stalker did something. We don't know where.
Who knows what happened?
Okay, Therathari would like to use his senses again to see if any nearby campers have.
Yeah. Roll a perception check, or you can rely on your passive if you'd like. Whatever you want to do.
Dude, Therathari can't miss a perception tonight. 25.
Holy sheesh.
Hell yeah.
All right. Using your ears and keen eyesight, you notice there is a stirring happening in the campsite up top here. You hear armor kind of clinking as though people are getting ready or something like that. Don't really hear any talking yet, but you hear like somebody is not necessarily like putting armor on, but there's a movement of armored folk on the hill there.
Okay. So he's just gonna speak to the group here, and just kind of relay. Yeah, people up there are moving. Hopefully, the stalker doesn't get them. Maybe we should help if they do.
Well,
and
yeah.
Okay.
That's his turn. He's gonna keep his spirit guardians where they are.
Perfect.
Jar has been healed. Felix is good. Yeah, no healing this turn.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good now.
Felix.
So my turn already?
Yeah.
Really? Oh wow. Okay. Hearing this, Felix will. Well, you tell me if this would be a free action or a bonus action. I'd like to look through my lens at that camp and see if my lens highlights the stalker.
Okay. Make a perception.
Well, that's a good idea.
Which camp, by the way? The one up top?
17, the one that Therathari
Yes.
kind of pointed us to.
Okay. Looking through your scope, you can see the heat register of 2 individuals who were sitting on like a stump near the fire that have stood up and are like slowly approaching, equipped with weapons.
Approaching us,
Yeah, like downhill, just trying to like see what's up.
but I don't see the stalker at all.
No, you do not.
Okay. I don't see the stalker, but given my protection, I'm gonna go see
Yep.
what's up.
You're also not entirely sure if your scope would register it, but
Yeah,
You
no,
don't-
I know.
you definitely don't see it though.
I'm gonna go there and see if anything happens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for my was that a bonus action or
What?
like looking?
No, that's part of your movement.
Okay.
We don't really, unless it's kind of something crazy, we don't really care.
Then I will I don't know. If I'm closer, can I get a better like do I see like do they look I guess what I'm asking is like do they look like they're in combat right now? Like are they trying to fight this thing?
No, what you see is one of them's holding a torch. They're kind of inspecting. That you can see their heads are kind of moved down. Weapons aren't necessarily drawn or anything, but hands on hilts and just kind of looking downhill at your campfire, seeing what's going on.
All right, I'll shout help, help. My campfire or my camp is under attack.
We heard a disturbance. You need help.
Yes, there's an invisible being attacking our camp. We need all the help we can get.
They both look at each other and then at you. Make a I'll let you decide, persuasion or performance.
Do I get advantage on this because of my mask?
What are you disguised? Oh no, yes you do. You're speaking it. Are you wearing the mask actually? You have to wear the
I'm
mask.
always wearing the mask.
Then yes, you would.
Cool.
So you're going persuasion?
Nat 20. I rolled a nat 20 and nat 1. That's sick.
Okay, so all right, we'll be right down. Just hang on. And they start to make their way towards you guys. All right, that end your turn, Felix?
Well, I haven't really done anything yet. Is that I get that could be my action maybe. It's like
Yeah. That is
recruiting. them.
probably an action.
As a Is there anything I can do with the bonus action? Oh yes, as of my bonus action, I will drink my elixir of boldness, which gives me a D4 to all attacks and saving throws.
There you go.
Nice.
You are hunkering down. All right. Iris.
Got a really weird question for you.
Sure.
So just because I want to make sure that I have all of my prepared spells, right? The way Artificer spells are prepared, it's a number of Artificer spells equal to Intelligence modifier plus half your Artificer level, normally rounded down. Does that stay rounded down, or are we rounding up in this case?
I think if it's written explicitly, you follow it.
Okay, word.
Good question.
Then in
Do we all
that-
agree? Is that fair?
Yeah, if it's written. That's how I've been doing it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Huh. I mean, considering that the Invisible Stalker hasn't rolled up just yet, what other spells do I have? I feel like of all the spells that I could have had prepared, see invisibility should have been one of them.
Doesn't that like
only.
not actually let you see invisibility though?
No, you see invisible creatures and objects as if they were visible, and you can see into the ethereal plane. So if this stalker
Okay,
is
yeah.
invisible, we would have been able to see it,
He is surely invisible. Invisible.
which is unfortunate.
Okay.
Yeah, Iris is sort of just kind of keeping an eye out. Not totally sure if this thing is still planning on rolling back up to strike. So Iris's movement is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Just to keep with Felix in case it decides to roll up this way. And then bonus action to have Mori protect Therathari and Jara in case it decides to roll up that way. Again, preparing an action to swing at the stalker if it shows up.
Okay. Okay. Since it is 9:30, just the last 5 minutes, for the sake of brevity here, the invisible stalker does not return.
What a bitch.
You guys waited out. The armored people come down. They kind of swords drawn or sword and spear drawn. They approach you guys cautiously, haphazardly.
Roll up and just, hi. Sorry, our friend is being hunted down by some shade creature.
Right. Is this real?
Yeah.
Are you in danger? Yes or no?
Yes,
I was gonna interrupt. I don't think it's coming back.
What is coming back? There's nothing here. All right. Let's just... You stay on your side, I'll stay on mine. I don't know what you're dealing with, but it sounds like a lot. Something that... We'll be out in the morning. Deal?
That's what we're hoping.
Right, but if it shows up again, can we ask you for help?
If the invisible creature that no one can see, hear, smell, or otherwise know it's there, comes back, and you need help fighting it, sure. We'll come down and swing at the air. Why not? But just so you know, our primary objective is not to protect you. If it comes to be in danger, putting our cargo in danger, then maybe. But
Well, it's not just after me. It can attack whoever, apparently. So your cargo is in danger, just so you know.
we'll be on the lookout for this invisible thing.
I think they can handle it from here.
What's your cargo?
That is none of your concern. I wish you the best, good luck, and I hope it doesn't return for all our sakes. Good night.
Good night.
Assuming once Felix and Iris turn around, Iris will just sort of, well, I'm glad it's gone. I guess if it rolls back up, we run into their camp and make it their problem.
Yeah.
Damn, putting children in the way.
Hey, we don't know that.
You know there's children there.
Yeah, we
I
saw them
guess.
earlier.
Well, then maybe they'll fight extra hard.
Classic Iris
The
moment.
kids will fight too. Got to start them young. How you get them good. Yeah, but for 15, 20, 25 minutes, you grow tired and it doesn't return.
Oh, all right. Just a bunch of wasted resources.
We will pick
There's one they can use a potion.
I guess we'll go back to bed. I'll keep an eye out from here.
Felix, what was that all about?
What was what all about?
Well, were you sleepwalking at first, or
I woke up in the fire. I must have been sleepwalking. I don't
It
know.
was some sort of charm spell. I was able to dispel it after the fact, but that's my guess.
I see. Well, now we know that they're whatever this is upgrading. So we know
Yeah, I
to
don't. Well,
prepare. I guess.
yeah, it seemed to attack me as well, which I don't know if that means I'm also a target or if it just
I think
now just
you're.
attack other people.
I think you are like allowable collateral damage.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it's. I don't know.
Make, I guess anyone, all of you, I don't mind. Make an Arcana check.
Arcana!
Last roll of the session. Make it good, guys.
16.
I'm
16?
using another sorcery point to reroll.
Okay.
I didn't. I got a 2 and then a 3, so a 7.
Assuming we're going to be sleeping in a bit, I'm going to use my luck stone on that.
Sure.
Okay,
brave
so it's going to be a between my Arcana check, and I'm going to throw Flash of Genius on myself. That's going to be a 30 overall.
Okay. Arathari?
21?
Oh. All right. All pretty damn good. The way it was told to you, Felix, jogging everyone's memory, the way that these visible stalkers normally work is there is a ritual involving an individual. So that either means that for somehow this invisible stalker is valid for more than one creature, or it's some kind of different thing that isn't necessarily your curse. You're not sure. But the fact that it did attack Jara is it excludes whatever you fought before verbatim, point blank, and also goes against a little bit the wording of what your contact that came to you in Answood told you, which is this is for a single person and they will not stop until that debt has been collected.
Yeah, that was out of character for it to
how's
just
your-
leave.
How's your amulet looking?
How is my amulet looking?
75%. It's not full.
Is
It
it?
really covers that last 25% really quickly.
Yeah.
Well, you maybe it's not tracking the same thing. Who knows?
You know, I do know that the amulet is not tied to my specific stalker. It just detects what was it? Like hemocratic or
Hemocratic,
Hemocratic.
hemocratic
While you're
energy.
while you're discussing that, Iris is gonna go back into the tent real quick.
Sure.
Is our super evil scroll still in here?
Totally. Not touched.
Oh, I totally
All right,
forgot about
all
it.
right,
It's
all
like
right.
that thing's gonna
It's
get
like-
stolen.
Iris
but-
is just going to grab it and just pop her head up. Okay, good news. At least it wasn't after the scroll.
Oh, goddamn! I completely forgot about that. I swear to God, it's gonna get stolen from us.
Well, but it is like double protected. It's in the barrier, which is locked, which is also in Iris's
right.
chest,
right.
which is locked, which is in Iris's tent, which is locked. Right?
Yeah.
So it's
It
like
is, but considering you were influenced out of the tent, I don't know whether or not it was able to go in and get you, or if that was just a mental thing.
It was
Oh yeah.
most likely just a mental thing. I wouldn't have been able to go in.
Okay. Well, the good news is at least it wasn't after the scroll.
I don't think it was a coincidence that it attacked me, though. Now that I'm thinking back on it, and I don't know, I think I might have an idea of who originated the spell, or at least maybe who cast the spell for the party that was after Felix. I think it was Professor Einhart, to be honest.
Who?
Professor Einhart, the guy Zima told us about
Yeah.
from the academy.
Why?
Wasn't that the guy Zima told us to like give the scroll to?
Yeah, I really don't. I for other reasons, I really don't think that's a good idea. I really don't think we should give him the scroll.
Are you
Uh,
familiar with him?
Yeah, like I mentioned, we definitely ran into each other at the academy.
Would because originally it did come after me. Like, why would Professor Einhart send this to attack both of us if he doesn't know who I am?
Well, I think he was probably contracted to cast the spell to get you, and then when we stopped the first time, probably noticed my presence, and then I don't know, maybe he advanced it to attack me as well. That's at least my current theory.
Oh, that is a decent theory. I don't know much about this Einhart fellow, but if he's the kind of guy who would be contracted to do something like this, then it's certainly possible.
Well, I guess if we can gather around the campfire, I can tell you a little bit more about my time at the academy next, because that'll probably take.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's 9:40.
Okay. Lots of questions, as usual, as my sessions usually end. Hopefully, we will get to them next session, not disrupted by an invisible stalker who is out and about playing mind games with you guys. Yeah, we'll end tonight's session. Until next time.
All right.
All right. Good shit today, y'all.
Good
That
job,
was
everyone.
good.
Yeah, we went seriously protect the president mode.
It was very protect the
Felix.
Yeah,
president.
man.
That one
That was-
round, I got like 20 buffs. Is great.
Yeah. I'll bonus action, and I'll bonus action, and I'll use my
and all
reaction.
reaction.
Yeah, I'll react to do that.
You guys
He
are
has
very
a
quick to
double
react.
disadvantage, has to make a wisdom saving throw, and
And then he's
Well,
just like, all right, peace.
you got you got a disadvantage to hit twice, and if you do manage to hit, now you need to make a wisdom save.
Well,
for the key
yeah,
target.
and then he was like, "Okay, I'll hit my second target," and then dip.
Just so you can call it a day, like I did something. You
He's like,
Yeah,
I
I
got
did my
blood,
job."
master. I'm good.
know?
Oh, maybe he was just after like our blood, and he got what he needed, and he left. I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
have
Well,
clones
he
running
certainly
around.
got blood from me. I can tell you that much.
Hmm.
Lots of
Lot to
theories.
think about.
There are
Lots of
theories.
theories.
There are
All right.
theories.
That was
Until next time. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right, catch you later, y'all.
Right.